I would ask you if you lost your mind, but she proceeded to smile at him. No, you haven't lost your mind. Izuku proceeded to stare at Gwen. Lost my mind about what? Oh, that, you want to fight a crime lord? Maybe the fact that you're, 14? We're both 14. You're getting to a whole situation over your head. You're going to be successor of the literal number one hero, inheriting his power, and on top of that, you want to be a vigilante. And you met two others that are very infamous. One of killing and another that we don't really know much about. Punisher and Daredevil is not that bad. Well, Punisher on the other hand, okay, I'll admit. He's bad. Okay? Because he kills. Yeah, I know. Okay, I get where you're coming from. But if you give me some time to explain what? She proceeded to stare at him. That you want to go fight some crime lord named the Big Man? Yeah, that's what they call him. Gwen. You have to understand, this is hard to explain. You're about to inherit a power from the symbol of peace. And instead of trying to train it or understand it, you're going to throw yourself into a literal crime lord battle. A literal war against a crime lord. Trying to defeat crime. Not a war, but trying to stop it. Yes. She proceeded to sigh, rubbing her face, walking towards him. They were in a room, her house, her apartment, her parents' apartment. She stared at him. Sit, she said, pointing at the queen-size bed. He proceeded to sit. She stared at him directly, her blue eyes staring right into his emerald. She grabbed his face, both hands on his cheeks, pulling him close. You are not All Might. The words were simple, cold, plain. Izuku looked at her. He felt hurt. Those words hurt. I know that. He placed his hand upon hers. I know I'm not All Might. I have limits. And I get that. I'm not the symbol of peace. I'm not some giant man that can punch into a literal fire, punch away clouds, or the fact that my strength can't literally punch away whole storms. I'm not that man. I'm not that guy. I know that I'm not. She stared at him, looking at his eyes. And why are you trying to be? It's not that I'm trying to be. It's just that I want to help people. And the only way by helping them is by stopping the thing that is going to hurt them. You don't know what it takes to stop something like a crime lord? A team of individuals reports police investigation and then confrontation. And all that takes time. All that takes money, time, effort. You can't do that by yourself. Yeah, I know. I know I can't do that by myself. But, Gwen, you have to believe me when I'm saying this. If someone who has power over the crime within Japan, and he has a decent amount of it compared to every other crime lord here. And he's waiting. I have to do something. Villains pop up every day. If I can at least stop one of them, stop a major crime lord, and cut the power off, and this other villain decide to try to take the power vacuum, and I can get them too, I'm going to do that. You're going to be crushed by your own weight, by the weight of expectation. People start looking up to you. And what's the problem with that? That becomes a burden on its own. Burden. Maybe. Promise. Yes. So, still believe me. Give me a chance. Let me do this. You see a sigh looking away. Fine. I'll support you. If things get too dangerous, things get critical and bad, you run. You run away. Izuku stared at her. He crouched and bent towards her, taking her hands. When things get too dangerous, I'll run. All right? She proceeded to nod. He took her gently, kissing her forehead. All right? I'm off before your dad comes and sees me in your room. Because the last time having dinner with your father was kind of awkward. Yeah. When you literally said Spider-Man is just trying to help, it didn't really help his ego. No kidding. Izuku remember the conversation. The weird tension at his first dinner with Gwen's family. It wasn't so well. Flashback. They were eating. The table was quiet. Gwen's father proceeded to speak. So, but Midoriya, what's your plan for the future? Well, my first idea was to be a hero, but with my lack of, I decided to be something more closer to Earth. A scientist, something like that. I'm really well in the genre, so. Interesting. He proceeded to stare at him. And what do you think about heroes, exactly? They're amazing, great people. Awesome. It just makes me excited to see a hero in action. It really does. There's a certain way when a hero comes into play and they decide to put themselves in danger to save others. There's something thrilling about it. Yes, there is. The glamour, the glory, the amazement. But behind it all, there's paperwork. And then you have the other half. The ones that want to do it by themselves and break the law with it. Like Spider-Man. Izuku froze for a moment. For a split second, Gwen noticed. Her hand reached out to his under the table. What about Spider-Man? He's young, reckless, immature. And better yet, he's using his powers, his quirk, to try to save and help lives, fighting criminals. He goes for a low rank. That's decent. Good for him that he recognizes his limit. But knowing someone young like him would always try to prove himself, try to prove that he can do better. Everybody wants to prove that they can be the next number one, the next symbol of peace, the next All Might. Well, what if he's not trying to prove he wants to be the next All Might? What if he's just trying to prove that he just wants to save people? There's a way of doing that, and you do it by the legal way, by going to school, by getting the hero exams, by going to one of the hero schools, by completing the course. by getting a hero license. Go through the whole process. That's 3 years. Yeah, 3 years, yes. But 3 years learning of control, management, and power, and how to modulate your strength. They teach you things that are important lessons for heroes, for all heroes. How to navigate certain situations. And what if someone doesn't have 3 years to wait? As Zuko said. Captain Stacy's turned his head, looking at him strangely in the eye. His eyes narrowed seriously. What that's supposed to mean? Zuko shift back slightly, then look at him dead in the eye. What if someone doesn't have 3 years to wait? What if someone needs saving now? What then? A person can't just sit around and wait. Not everyone has that luxury. Some people need immediate saving. Others have been waiting for the saving for longer than anyone has known. And yet they're still waiting for a hero to save them. And none come. Yes, it's the law. Yes, there's certain ways of going through, but there's many people out there who need someone who doesn't abide by the law. And the law sometimes can get in the way. It makes things slow, harder to get through. I'm not saying the law is worthless, but I'm saying the law doesn't always protect the people. It doesn't always protect the people who actually need the protecting. And the ones that do slip under the cracks, they get abused. And when they're abused, they become hurt. And when they become hurt, they hurt others. And when they hurt others, they become the problem. The cycle repeats. And they hurt others. And those hurt people become abused. And they become abused, and then they hurt other people. It continues and repeats and repeats. And it will continue to repeat. Stacy proceeded to look at him. His appetite was lost, interested in this young man. And what would you do to break it? Izuka proceeded to look down at his plate, pondering. I wouldn't know yet. But one thing I do know is it takes one step first. If I did have the power to do something about it, I'll try to save every last person I can, good or bad. He stared at them, stared at Captain Stacy. Even if the law says I can't. And if you break the law, and if you become a lawbreaker, the law's there to bring people and put them in order. Sometimes order has become a problem. Order become a thing for chaos. And that order can feed into other people, giving others that are not supposed to have power, influence. What then? Captain Stacy perceived, eyes narrowed, scowling at that. There's many men and women who have power that's not supposed to have power, and yet they do. And they use the law to protect themselves, preventing themselves from getting the justice they deserve. What then? What then can you do against them when the law serves their purpose? When they use the law to hide behind their own wrongdoings and actions? How are you supposed to take them down? How are you supposed to serve the justice that's meant to be right? The right justice, not the laws. And that's where you place around and use other laws. So they can also use other laws. Zuko stared at Captain Stacy. If a lawbreaker needs to be a lawbreaker and the hero actually needs to break the laws, then they're a hero. If they'll do anything to save somebody, anybody, they're a hero in my eyes. And they're a lawbreaker of mine, as Captain Stacy says. The laws are there for a reason to protect people. And what happens when the law can't protect people? Does the law become a liability? The table went quiet. An old man who's always been strict about order and precision, and a young man who's always cared about one thing: saving lives, even when it meant breaking the law. Flashback end. That was a very tense situation, Gwen said. He's still iffy. Is that how you want to call it? Yeah, iffy is a good word. He proceeded to head down, waving to Mrs. Stacy. Well, you two lovebirds don't stay out too long. Bring her back before 10. Mrs. Stacy. Right, I will. They proceeded to walk out. Gwen proceeded to hold his hand. As she proceeded to walk beside him, you know he's not going to stop chasing you. He's not going to stop until you're under arrest and he takes off that mask. I know. But I'm still going to continue. And what if you do get arrested? What then? What happens to us? You won't improve if you figure out who you are. If you won't allow me to see you, then you won't figure out. I promise. He took her hand. Then he heard sirens. And that's my cue. She turned inside. She's always saved by the sirens. You're always being dragged up to somewhere else. And I want to stay with you. And then Spider-Man's needed to save a life. It's like she squeezed his hand, looking at him. His eyes lowered. Spider-Man and his door is getting in the way between what we want and what's needed, Izuku said. I know. I haven't been spending much time with you as much as I wanted to. I'm sorry. No. She proceeded to place her hand upon his lips. Go. She kissed his cheek, and then she turned back towards her house. Go save them. She smiled softly. He nodded, then ran. As he ran, turning a corner, he proceeded into an alley, changing and then putting on the mask, swinging into action. As he swung through the high rise in the buildings, he proceeded to vault over a building, sliding down, and then leaped onto a crane with a steel beam as he flipped off and dived. The city was loud, buzzing with activity. He felt the gravity bringing him down, several stories high. He pulled out his arm and fired a web. The web connected. He pulled, and then gravity swung him forward, fast, quick. The momentum was tremendous. It was a whoosh. As he leaped into the air, firing another web, redirecting himself, changing directions towards the sirens. He felt it. Every day, Spider-Man was another cost. Another day of his personal time. Another lie to Izumi, me, Mom, and Kachan, and Harry, and Aunt Miski, and Uncle Masaru, and another separation from Gwen. And a lie to another life to Captain Stacy, and Mrs. Stacy. He felt it. He felt it in the marrow of his bones. Spider-Man was becoming more of a burden than an actual enjoyment. Not that he enjoyed being Spider-Man. Of course he did. These powers just came to him, but the responsibility was starting to weigh on him. The fact that he needed to choose moments of peace where he wanted to be with family and friends and his loved ones. And the girl that he loves over saving lives. But this is what he wanted, right? Some things cost. Some things demanded the sacrifices. He pulled himself up and began to leap into the air. And if Izuku Midori has to sacrifice a few things for sacrifice peace, his peace for the world's peace, then maybe that can be allowed. Maybe a little sacrifice is okay. But the real question is that he didn't know, or the fact that the matter of how the world of Spider-Man works is that sacrifice is always a thing. And when you start sacrificing things about yourself, the sacrifice starts taking more and more before you know it. It's taking more than you originally thought it would. He wouldn't know until later, much, much, much later, that this mantle was a curse. But he's beginning to understand it. The weight. He swung, swinging in, leaping off another building. He saw the car, firing another web. He proceeded to leap, dodging bullets. It became a natural thing, a natural occurrence. Grabbing a streetlight and proceeding to flee himself forward, landing upon the rooftop. Okay. He proceeded to fire webs at the first guy, yanking him out and webbing him towards streetlight. You guys have just heard Spidey Express. Now, the good old police station is our next destination. He proceeded to leap off, slamming upon the hood and firing 2 webs, slowing the car down. And then the robber proceeded to shoot a gun. He proceeded to take the gun with a web shot, and then fling it out of his wrist, webbing him to the seat. And that's that. Evening was coming in already. Right. Oh my, he simply thought. He did a backflip, firing a weapon at a streetlight, and then yanking himself, moving forward. Every day felt like another sacrifice, more and more. He swung towards Dagobah. It took him about 30 minutes. As he launched himself off of a building, he did a stylistic flip straight into the beach. Nobody noticed. He landed, letting upon the rail side and stared. Okay. A crazy mess of blonde hair, scrawny man walked beside. Let's see that you're here, Midoriya. Yeah, I'm here. He said the symbol of peace. The man that was behind the muscle, All Might, in his true form, a scrawny, disheveled, bone-like man with sunken eyes and glowing blue that still glowed with power. It's time. Yes, he claimed the beach. Took 5 months. You have another 5 months of your last year of middle school. Izuku nodded. Yeah, I do. He's turned away, looking towards the sea. And the whole city. He stared at All Might. I have a question. What is it? Does it ever get easier? The symbol of peace proceeded to raise an eyebrow. The boy took off his mask, checking if anyone was looking. Like, really? Does it ever get easier? Pulling his bag from his shoulders and then placing his school uniform on quickly, leaning upon the rail, then looking at his mentor, like when you have to choose between comfort and when you know what's right. The symbol of peace didn't think he would have to have this conversation yet. He thought he was going to have it maybe later during the time when the boy decided to go to UA. Finally, instead of doing the vigilante course. But it seemed like he was still probably going to be the vigilante thing for a long while. The The simple piece didn't know that vigilante way was going to be the biggest thing that was going to support the boy's future and the career that he was going down, and the hero that he was going to be, the hero that people would look up to in the future eventually, and the strain that it would bring. The man proceeded to turn away. No, it doesn't. It doesn't really get any easier in Midoriya. If anything, it gets harder. Much, much harder. Zuko looked up, leaning upon the rail, arms on the rail. As the sea breeze blowed, the wind riling up their hair, Zuko stared. I don't know. All my persons looked at the boy. What? Why? What do you want to talk about? I have to leave Gwen, Zuko said. I'm doing it a lot more often these days, leaving her between dates or even sometimes having to leave class. But I know I probably shouldn't. He said it all might, or ditching entirely just to stop villains and criminals. Small time, but I can't help it. And every time I leave her, every time I see it, I see a sight of pain in her eyes. Like every time I choose to leave her, it's like she's dying inside. Am I doing the right thing, All Might? All Might stared at the boy, really. They looked away. This is the path you chose, Midoriya, and the path that she chose. Here's the thing about it. I've never been in a relationship myself. Not one fully fledged. I've been in a couple ones when I was younger. Small time crushes. Small girlfriend here and there. But has it ever grown into something deeper? Not really, no. He stared at the boy. The boy that he was starting to see as a son of his own. The truth is, it's hard. The thing that you need to understand is, heroes have to sacrifice a lot. I had to sacrifice a lot too. I lost my respiratory system, my internal organs completely to the villain that took it. The simple piece stared. When you become a hero, there are certain things that you have to understand. The normal life of living with a family and kids, that still is plausible, but you have to always look over your shoulders. You can never have your guard up, never have your guard down. Never. Because someone will always be there waiting for it to come down. It's possible to have one. Yes it is. I've seen heroes. Endeavor has a family. Speak how you're not for his reputation. He has a family. It doesn't mean he doesn't get death threats. It doesn't mean that he doesn't see people threatening his family. A lot of heroes have their families. Some keep them in secret, others keep them publicly. He said it, Izuku, really. But the problem is what you do with it. And a lot of times, a lot of heroes try to do two things. One, they try to do too much. Or two, they try to focus on one thing, and both tear them apart. So what do you choose? You choose neither. You try to be the hero that everyone needs to be, and then you try to be the hero that your family wants you to be. There's a certain expectation to it. It's called a sacrifice. And that's a very dangerous word. Why? Because when you start sacrificing, you don't know when to stop. And then they start building. And then before you know it, the sacrifice starts becoming bigger, larger, more strenuous. It starts taking things that you don't intend for it to take, like relationships, people. It starts becoming a burden. That's where you need to be careful. Learn how to not look at the colors or the sirens. Learn when the time is you can allow others to carry the weight. Enjoy yourself. You're young Midoriya. You're 14 years old. You should be having to worry about this. But yet, eventually, you're going to have to. If you go down the hero path, this is the world. Miss Stacy is probably will understand. But you both need to understand that it will take sacrifices, and there's going to be some of them that's going to hurt a lot more than others. How do I prepare? Symbol Peace stared quietly. He looked up to the sky for a while, staying quiet. He didn't say anything. And then he simply said, "That's the thing. You don't. No matter how much you can prepare, when it does hit, it's a lot harder. Those sacrifices make us who we are." You can prepare all you want, but you won't be truly ready. Nobody is. He turned away. And then he proceeded to smile. But one thing that everyone does need is a hero. He bulked up immediately. And a hero that understands responsibility is one that understands power and what it means. He plucked the hair from his head and handed it to Izuku. Some say gifts are earned or given. You were given a gift, young Midoriya. One that came in an intentional way, in an extraordinary way. One that seemed tiny, microscopic. But what it gave you was a blessing. But this gift is not a gift. This is one that you earned. With your heart, with your body, mind, and soul. So take it and receive what you've earned. Izuku looked at the hair. He felt tears prick upon his eyes, looking at All Might. I know I'm worthy of this gift. All Might proceeded to smile. That's how you know. When you question it, it belongs to you in the first place. He took the hair, staring at it. So what did I do with it? All Might proceeded to simply grin. Eat this. Izuku blinked. Wait, what? Eat. You guys, I just some of my hair. That's the only way One For All is going to transfer to you. Eat your hair? Izuku proceeded to gag. Internally, he proceeded to think, I'd rather get bit by the spider again 10,000 times over than eat your hair. Ugh. I guess down the hatch. Oh, gross. He proceeded the feelings of the heave. His body struggled. It repulsed. He didn't like it. The hair, it stuck to his throat. He proceeded to grab a bottle of water that All Might proceeded to hand him. Chugging it down, he gagged several times. In fact, it felt like he was choking. And then the hair went down, finally. It'll take about 5 hours to digest. But when it does, Sue will be trained for One For All, to master it. Oh, right. Master. Got it. Oh. So, I have a question. The guy that was chasing Harry's dad, he called himself the Vulture. Ugh. Did anything say about him? Oh, the Vulture man. All I proceed to think. Oh, he was just rambling about stolen tech. Was born stealing his tech and claiming it for himself. Do you think Mr. Osmond would really do that? Armor Osmond is many things, but I highly doubt that the man would steal tech from others. He's too inventive himself. He's too smart, too intelligent. But I wouldn't think of it below him to do it. Certain things that we gotta worry about when you face businessmen. They always have some sort of want. Izuku nodded, understanding. The two looked up to the sun, the setting sun. Time skip. The next month was strange. Izuku tried to use one for all. The quirk was something else. All Might described it as a well of power that sits within his chest. Izuku drawed it out. He drawed it out into his right arm. He tried using it the first time, and he almost broke his arm. Yeah, it was pretty gross and disgusting for a moment. But it wasn't too bad. His body was really durable. That's when he really learned that blowing limbs was probably not the best thing he can do. And that's when he learned that his healing factor was a lot stronger than he seemed. Because after a day of rest, it was completely recovered. The tingle was still there. He wouldn't say every feeling of pain, but hey, it was much better. And almost barely any scarring. So that was easy enough. He flexed and unflexed it. His healing factor was impressive. Downright miracle. Across the city, a man was making his way, planning. As two criminals were released once again, Flint Marco and Alexei. As they proceeded to be paid off once again, they exit the police station. Two officers proceeded to watch as a man in a suit with a square-like head proceeded to nod. They nodded at him and then they left. He opened the door for them. Get in, boys. The two proceeded to get in. Seating, and then they saw a large man. A man in a suit. Bluish like gray skin. His eyes hard. His hair combed back. And then a man staring at them. The big man. A.K.A. Adrian Tombstone. I see that you're here. Good. The other man proceeded to enter, sitting by his side. Hammerhead. And yet he failed again. What is the good of paying you and freeing your bail if you're not going to do one simple task of getting and robbing? Boss, you have to believe me. We're capable. As Flip proceeded to say, yeah, we're capable, as Alexei said. It's just that damn bug keeps on getting in the way. You mean this bug? As Tombstone proceeded to press the remote. As then on the limo, inside the limo, the monitors proceeded to go turn on, showing a red and blue individual with a large spider emblem on his chest, swinging around the city. Images. Him fighting people, shooting webs, and calling jokes. Yeah, Spider-Man, as Flint said. He's always everywhere, man. Like, it's goddamn annoying. His jokes are not funny, as Alexei said. Yes, he's been a thorn in my side for the longest while. 6 months now. It's getting irritating. And what's worse, he's becoming a thorn in my side. Technically, boss, the previous summer ended. this month, so technically a year. I know. As he turned towards Hammerhead, Tombstone's eyes narrowed. And the problem is, he's improving at a rapid rate, taking on higher levels of criminals, villains. He's even taking on some even some C ranks to B rank villains. He's learning fast. He's learning on his own. It's not long before he actually starts becoming a problem, a big problem that we need to take out now. We do it while he's slow, small. Before the hero decide that he's an interest that they can probably use. So how do we do that? As Flint said, if the target decides it is getting stronger rapidly, then we need to outpower him completely. The two criminals stared at each other and stared back, looking at the crime lord. Outpower him? No offense, boss, but you haven't really seen how he moves. It's wild, coordinated. He's really smart for a pipsqueak. Yes, he's young, immature, but he doesn't know the in and outs of this world. Not yet. But he's learning. And that's the problem. He's adapting fast. The longer he's left alone, the more he saves, the more he fights, the longer he's left alone, the bigger threat he becomes. And so we need to crush him now. We can't control him. He's made it obvious. But we can still test if we can. So we're going to put him to a series of tests. Test, as the both said, test. They arrived at a facility at the edge of Kyoto. The door opened and then a man stepped out of shadows. Test, yes. Norman Osborn. A test that settles to see if you two are worthy. And we're about to see right now. That's Norman Osborn, as Alexi said. Flip proceeded to punch his shoulder. Shut up, doofus. Oh, my bad. The two proceeded to move, walking. As then there was a man in a lab coat with seemingly a large waistband like protrusion with arms sticking out. They were black, glowing with yellow highlights, lights with yellow tips. They seemed methodical. This is my assistant, Dr. Otto Octavius, but you can just call him the doctor. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Tombstone. The big man, as Hammerhead said. Relax, Hammer. Let the doctor have his word. These are the two, as Otto proceeded to look at. Tombstone proceeded to nod, yes. Norman proceeded to stare. So who's first? Alexei proceeded to back up. Not sure yet. Flip proceeded to scowl. Pansy. I'll be first to whatever test this is. Good. Doctor? Yes, Mr. Osborn. He proceeded to move forward. The short man, so you can say, I need you to take off your clothes. The others proceeded to go into a room that proceeded to hold a containment, a security, where they can watch from a safe distance. Otto proceeded to guide him to a not sort of laboratory, but a sort of area where there's many containments. These had prongs, larger ones at that. The ones I'd seen that shoot radioactive lightning. He proceeded to gesture to a holder as he proceeded to lay down upon it. Right. So, Doc, what is this for? To improve your quirk. My quirk? It's just sand, though. Small sand manipulation. Low level. But with the technology, we can improve it to just something different. Hammerhead proceeded to walk beside. You literally become a man of sand. The Sandman. That's what the bug called me when we first met. I hated that name. Well, as Hammerhead said, you can use it. It's yours now. As he smiled and really think about it, you'll have the power of a god. Control sand like none other. Nobody was able to hurt you. And you can get revenge on the bug that keeps on getting in the way. Flipper seemed to smile. Yeah. I like that. Otto proceeded to hook up IVs, heart monitors, and readers upon Flint. He proceeded to close the room as him and Hammerhead proceeded to walk towards the control panels. As the doctor proceeded, have his arms stretched out, the four arms proceeded to start activating the machine. Norman proceeded to say, well, we'll be making history with this one. And the history is only for the ones who see it. Now, Doctor, let's begin. Right, as Otto said. One of the arms proceeded to move forward, grabbing a lever and then activating it. As the switch came on, the prongs proceeded to glow brightly, and then they shocked him. As they shocked him, he proceeded to scream. Sand was being released. The sand was being covered. As two turbines proceeded to spin, spinning with that same type of energy from the prongs. As they sped faster, Norman proceeded to watch. Tombstone simply saying nothing, arms crossed behind him. The Hammerhead standing beside his boss. Flip was screaming. Alexei was simply staring, shocked. It's like fear and horror. As Norman proceeded to say, turn it up another 100%, another 50%. But, Mr. Osborne, turn it up. I pay you to follow my word, not to give me reasons why not to. Yes, Mr. Osborne. As he moved another arm, lifting the lever up to 50%, the screams got louder. As Flint's screams, his body started to change. Deep in his molecular code, sand started to bond, forming bonds. His body started to slowly breaking down, becoming one with the sand. Higher, as Norman said. But if he got full power, sir, he might actually die. Otto, as Norman said, his voice becoming low. Do as I say. Otto seemed to struggle for a moment, looking at the screaming Flint, and then he sighed. He took the lever and went for one of the mechanical arms. The mechanical arm pushed it over forward, laying it down flat against the console. It sparked as the intensity of the machine became full power. Flint's body started to break down rapidly, fast, right in front of their eyes. His screams started to become blood-wrenching. As the bond was starting to form fully, half of his body was already turning into sand, literally. His screams proceeded to die down once the machine sparked with a large zap, and then his body form was gone. Boom! The machine exploded, sparks dancing as steam hissed. Hammerhead proceeded to stare. What the hell had just happened? As he proceeded to grab Otto's collar. The molecular structure proceeded to break down. His body couldn't handle it. Wait, as Tombstone said. Let's see if he can bring himself back. Norman stood there, unfazed, cold, calculating, like Tombstone. As they waited, several moments would pass. Nothing. Sand shifted, was simply there, laying. He's dead, as Hammerhead said. Disappointment. Flint, as Lexi said. But then the sand shifted for a moment. Shifted and then rose. The sand started to coalesce, growing, taking a human shape. As the sand gathered, this gathering sand proceeded to move, coalescing, starting to become pants, then features, details, exactly of the man that was just tied and chained to a bonded to a steel chair. As once it was finished, Flint Marco stood there, breathing, still in the same getup, gray sweatpants, gray khakis, and cross green shirt with lines. He breathed heavily, flexing his arms. What the? As he moved each digit, he felt something was different. He felt the same. No, there was something different about him. His hand proceeded to change at will. It took a while, for a second, a few moments, but his hand changed size, becoming a literal fist of sand. His molecules were completely sand, but they mimic human flesh perfectly. He stared in shock and awe. His fist clenched. He changed his fist yet again. It changed to a spiked mace, a club, a square, a bat, a gun. Anything he could imagine. It changed into just that. As he simply chuckled and laughed. Alexei walked out. Tombstone proceeded to say, "So, how do you feel?" I feel great, boss." He proceeded to clutch and unclench his fist. "I feel like I could take on anybody, even All Might." "Don't get cocky," as Norman said. "You still have a threshold, a limit you need to understand." Otto proceeded to walk over, testing him, his arms scanning. "Your body's 400% sand. You're literally now sand man." "Yeah. This should be enough." As Tombstone said, "More than enough to crush the bug." As Hammerhead said, clenching his fist and cracking them to his open palm. Alexei proceeded to nod. "Yeah, more than enough to crush the bug. We can finally experiment on our hair, Flint." Flint proceeded to smile, realizing, yeah, I can. We can. Good. Get used to this new body of yours. You'll be doing some several jobs for me. Got it? Yeah, boss. Got it. Norman proceeded to stare. That was a success. It's a good one. As the scene faded away, Izuku was yawning. It was another day. Another day of trying to understand his quirk. Another day of trying to understand One for All. He flexed and unflexed his fingers. He stretched his limbs. Okay. 1, I can totally use a break. 2, nap time. He walked out of school. Gwen was heading towards Oscar. She had to work yet again. How convenient. At least he probably didn't have to be Spider-Man today. He said he wanted to accompany her, but she smiled and nodded. All right, very well, she proceeded to say, taking his hand. They headed towards Oscorp. That was somewhere in or between Nagasaki and Kyoto. The city that was supposedly gone. He proceeded to walk around. There was calm here. Izuku proceeded to look around, staring. Then he saw Oscorp, the large, towering building among the buildings. He smiled. It felt good to be here, he simply said. Does it? Yep. Really? He proceeded to lay beside her, as he was just fine. Everything seemed perfect. They proceeded to go up the building, taking the elevator. She put on her worker gear with a lab coat, tying back her hair. As they entered the 34th floor, Izuku proceeded to blink, seeing Harry. Harry proceeded to raise an eyebrow. Oh, Izuku. I didn't think I would see you here. It's good to see you, man. Yeah, good to see you too. What are you doing here? Well, dad, work, trouble. Yeah, no kidding, as Izuku said. What you doing? My dad wants to make some sort of armored suit, flight suit, basically. Huh. That's kind of familiar. It's the flight tech from the Vulture, right? The Vulture? Harry proceeded to scoff. He stole Dad's tech, as Harry said. Wait, really? The Vulture was shouting and screaming that his tech was stolen. No. Zoo, as Harry said. The truth was, the Vulture stole tech that him and Dad made together, but it was under my father's name. He didn't like that fact and decided to go on a rampage, trying to chase my dad. And then Spider-Man came in and saved my father. Huh. Izuku looked at the armor. Then he looked at the device below it. What's this? That's a new hover tech glider. It's being made by my father, by the best minds in Oscorp. And even Dr. Connors is helping with the reactions, with the fuel. You mean Dr. Connors? Yep. The Dr. Connors. Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while. Yeah, not since he got bit for that weird spider thing. You still okay about that one? No side effects? Izuku smiled. Half of his face was seeing the shimmer within his mind, the mask that represented his secret identity. Nah, Hair, I'm fine. He proceeded to smile. They proceeded to chat on for a while. Gwen was doing her work as she proceeded to go over several things. Izuku walked around and then he saw Dr. Connors. Dr. Connors, as Izuku said. The man raised his head. Oh, you must be Izuku Midori, am I correct? Yeah. The boy that got bit by your spider thing. Yes, I'm terribly sorry about that. Are you feeling okay? Yeah, I'm totally fine. Totally fine. How are you? I'm doing great. Perfect. He reached out his arm. Izuku reached out his own. Then he saw, oh, I'm sorry, left hand. Don't worry. Don't worry. As Dr. Carter smiled. What you studying? What you looking at? Oh, this lizard DNA. Izuku said, look, can I see? Of course, you can. Izuku peeked in, looking. Still trying to understand genetic mutations within animals. Yes. If we can do it and understand animals' genetic mutations and how they have certain traits, maybe somehow, maybe I'll be able to help those who are amputees. Lizard had a certain trait, certain gene within their DNA that allows them to regrow limbs. If I can find a way to transfer that into a clean serum, any amputee like myself can recover their lost limb, no matter how gone it is. He touched his right arm. Isaac noticed. Huh. That would be impressive. World spreading, right? Probably. He smiled. Yes, it was. It would be. Like, just figure out this formula. But you should probably go along. Gwen should probably wonder where you went. Oh, right. You're probably right about that one. Izuku seemed to say. He took his way towards Gwen. Gwen and Harry were chatting about something. What's going on? Oh, nothing much, as Gwen said. I'm just going over certain things here. Izuku proceeded to nod. Right. He turned around, noticing that black thing again. That black liquid sitting there in the middle of the room. Simply just there. He walked over to it. He stared at it. He didn't know what, but it simply just sat there. Harry proceeded to look at it. Oh, that thing again. Is it supposed to be what? Some type of alien substance from space. It came down about, 50 years ago. Give it to Oscar. I think I told you about it. Yeah, you did, Izuku said. It's kind of strange that it's just here. Yeah, it kind of is. Izuku placed a hand upon the glass tube, staring at it for a moment, just a moment. And then it rippled, his eyes widening. He didn't say anything. And then the substance, the black, eerie substance, moved. A blackish like blue tendril seemed to slip, moving like it had a mind of its own. It touched the glass, forming the shape of his hand. He backed away and then it slipped down. What's wrong? As Gwen said. Nothing, Asuka said. Just looking. What is this thing called again? Well, it doesn't really have a name, she simply said. It's just called the mass. The mass, huh? Kind of anticlimactic, don't you think? She simply laughed at the blunt statement. And the boy who simply wears a mask and cracks jokes when he's fighting. What? I can't say it doesn't have any cool name. No. She proceeded to kiss his cheek, and then, see, if it has a better name, then it would probably have one, but there's nothing used to it, as the voice said. Harry and Gwen turned. Izuku turning. Then he saw Norman Osborn walking in. Harry proceeded to nod. Father? Gwen, it's good to see you again. Good to see you too, Mr. Osborn. And look what we have here. Izuku Midoriya. How it's been good to hear Midoriya name in Oscorp. Izuku raised an eyebrow. Midoriya name? You know my surname? Of course I know your surname. I was a friend of your father's once before. Izuku's eyebrows were raised. Wait, you were? Yes, I was, in fact. Me and Hisashi go way back. If anything, he was the one who helped me with fund. He was the one who helped me with Oscorp long ago. Huh, Izuku said. I didn't know. Dad never said anything about it. Neither did Mom. Yes. How's Inko doing? I hope she's doing well with your sister. Yeah. Yeah, she's fine. Oh yeah, forgive me. I'm sorry about your loss that happened. It's a shame I wasn't able to see an old friend being buried, as Norman said. No, it's fine. I visit his grave every once in a while when I get the chance to. It was a good proceed to remember that. Yeah. Yeah, things have been so hectic lately, I haven't been able to visit either. Norman proceeded puts a hand upon the boy's shoulder. It's alright to have your own life. The dead would rather want us to move forward and spend and sitting around doing nothing, just on thinking about them. Your father was a man of honor, responsibility. I respected him very much. Izuku said, "No, thank you, Mr. Osborne. You know, before I lost contact with your father, he told me about he was about to have his own children. He proceeded to smile. You do live up to the name, though. Intelligent, smart. Maybe one day I'll see you within Hoscorp, working with, being one of us. I don't know what to say." Harry Pacino watched this. He felt happy for Izuku, but then slightly jealous for the fact that Izuku was getting the attention of his father, the attention that he always wanted from his father, and he wasn't able to get it at all. Well, I'll be honored. Anytime you want. As he proceeded to hand him a card. Anytime I'm here. Thank you, Mr. Osborne. Well, I'll be off. I have certain things to work on. Files to go through. Harry, make sure you pass all your classes. You should be more like Izuku and Gwen. Focus. Instead of childing playing around. He turned away from Harry, not saying another word. Yes, father. As Harry scowled. Don't take it too personally, Harry, as Izuku said, placing a hand upon his shoulder. You have us. Harry proceeded to smile. Thanks, Izuku. I appreciate that. You two are my closest friends. Izuku looked at his phone, seeing a message from Izumi. Oh, dinner time. You gotta go, as Gwen said. Yep. She just messaged me that she's with Koski and Mom wants me to go get some eggs. I gotta go. Probably should go turn in those Spider-Man photos I've been waiting to give Mr. Jameson. You work for Jameson? As Harry said. Should probably work for my father. There's a lot better pay. Gwen proceeded to nod. That's true. He does give better pay. Izuku said, Mr. Jameson has a pretty interesting type of personality. If you mean yelling at the top of his lungs about a certain mass vigilante that runs around swinging around the city, then yeah, sure. Interesting personality, as Harry said, chuckling. Izuku smiled. Exactly. You see, you don't just ponder to live a boring life. You live and you thrive. Enjoy it. I'll see you guys later, as Izuku said, turning away. Then he turned, walking past the glass yet again of the black substance. His spices proceeded to tingle, warningly, loudly by it. He felt eyes on him, like the thing and like the substance was watching him. But it was just simply liquid mush that was just that. But it watched him, as the liquid mush from his point of view, seeing everything in black and white, watching the boy. Stared, watching him leave, taking the elevator. Eventually it would get out, and eventually it would find a host. And that boy, that one right there, seemed like the perfect host. But it'll wait and bide its time. As Izuku stepped out, he made his way down, taking, wow, He changed into his suit, swinging. Good old air. First, door. Next, eggs. Perfect. But first, probably let's take the Jameson. It would make the most sense, but then his spider sense went off. What the? He turned sing a bang, exploded with sand. Huh. He swung towards the bank, flipping and diving, barrel rolling, as he landed upon a car. The two men who stepped out were familiar. Well, look what we have here. Alexius and Flint. Howdy do. I really thought you guys were going to stay longer than a month, but what can I say? Spider-Man, as Alexius said. Hey, don't worry. I got this, as Flint said. Just put the money in the bag. Is that supposed to be a fry to the bag reference, as Alexius says? Oh, just shut up. As Flint said, just put the money in the bag, toss it in the car, and get driving, you idiot. Right. He proceeded to take the money and the jewels, quickly moving them towards the car, the getaway car. Zuko landed right in front of Flint. So, let me guess. You're robbing another store again. Don't you ever not learn? What about you, Bug? Don't you ever not learn? Well, you're about to learn right now. Huh. You seem pretty confident. What's up, everyone, today? Oh, it's just my really big break. Oh, that's going to be interesting. As Flint's hand changed to a large sand fist, Zuko's lenses widened in shock. What the heck? And then he threw the punch. Before he could even react, the fist crashed into him, sending him flying back. He skidded up on the ground, bumping, hitting, and then bouncing into a mailbox, groaning. Oh, what the hell? He shook his head. What's wrong, Webhead? You seem kind of shocked. How the heck? Was that a sand fist? He proceeded with his fist up again, then setting it stretching forward with a sand fist. He dodged yet again. Flint proceeded to send more extended sand fists, stretching out forward. Izuku dodged each one. He leaped over, sliding under, and then webbing being Flint's right arm to a taxi cab. Huh. Really, Webhead? Is that what you gotta do to take me down? He proceeded to shift his fist into a mace. You gotta do better than that. As he turned into sand, moving quickly, then behind him. As Izuku was hit in the back, things flying sent into a moving car. Smash! As the car proceeded to flip over, he proceeded to groan. As it was flipped upon the hood, he proceeded to groan, wincing. Ah! What the hell? How did he... The getaway car proceeded to drive, skidding off. Flint proceeded to grin. I've been waiting for this for a long time, Webhead. And now I get the chance to beat the crap out of you. Izuku's eyes lenses proceeded to narrow. When did he have so much power? When did his quirk change? He winced and proceeded to get up. It's been a whole month. He got out not that long ago. How the hell did he change his quirk? How did he improve it so fast? He dodged from using a backflip as Flint proceeded to slam a spear of sand into the ground. Izuku be crouched, wondering, all right, Flint, you seemingly got a boost or an upgrade. Want to tell me how? No need to tell you how. All you gotta know is the big man gave me the big game. The big man. Again, with the big man. Who is he? Why would I ever tell you? As he proceeded to point, then pause. Why would I tell you? Man, whatever. as he simply shrugged. The big man has tasks, things to be done. Crime to control, money to gain. You know the deal. Yeah, crime lord. Zuko fired a web. The web slapped upon his face. Flint seemed panicking. I can't see. Oh, wait. He turns to sand, dropping and slithered, then reformed back again. You can't hurt me. Zuko's lenses narrowed. We'll see about that. He proceeded to leap forward for spinning, and he landed a roundhouse kick towards his neck. He proceeded to notice that the fact that he took almost no damage. Okay, he swept his legs, taking his legs as they turned into sand. Flip proceeded to notice this. Then his legs proceeded to reform with more sand. How the heck? Your legs just... Yep, I know. His arm changed into a large brick-like wall. He slammed it right into him, sending him flying as he crashed into a store nearby, groaning as the clothes around him proceeded to fall upon him. Okay. Ow. This is new. Completely outclassed. Alright? He can escape webbing. He can change his molecules to sand. Is he a literal Sandman? Flip proceeded to walk forward. Well, there's only one thing left to do. Crush you. He turned his two hands into scythes, proceeding to lift them up right over Zuko's head. And then the sound of police sirens. Oh, crud. You gotta be kidding me, as Flip said. You got a lucky bug. Real lucky. The next time you get in my way, I'm squashing the spider for good. He turns to sand, slipping into a drain, disappearing. Zuko proceeded to groan, walking over. He winced at every pain. My chest, my back, my ribs, especially my back. He cracked his back, holding his head, then he looked to where Flint just escaped, and bigger problems to fry. Did I at least get those photos? He proceeded to fire a web, yanking the camera, looking at it. Wow, yep, I got the photos of me getting my ass kicked. I wonder what Jameson will think now. A few minutes later, at the Daily Bugle, Jameson proceeded to laugh at each photo. Robbie, look at this. Look at him, Spider-Man, getting completely totaled, beaten. The Sandman vs. Spider-Man is infamous, classic. What do you think, Robbie? Jonah, I think it's pretty obvious. Pretty good photos. You did well, Zuko. But, please tell me you weren't actually in the vicinity of the fight. No, I was in a far distance. That's nice. Robbie stared at him with suspicious eyes, looking at each photo. There's a look in his eyes. Zuko felt unnerved, like Robbie knew something good, but he wasn't going to say anything. Okay. Alright, I'll give you the usual. Because you got the 7 and the 14 from your last time. I'll give you... I gave you 49,000 last time, so... 49,000. But you said you're going to pay me every seven photos. Exactly. 49,000. Here. But that's 14 photos. I know. Zuko sighed, groaning. He took the photos. I'll just take the check. We wrote the check for him and then handed him. They took the photos and then he walked out. He walked to Betty, handing her the check. She proceeded to take it, registering it. As the check turned into cash. So, any luck? Any luck with Jameson? Probably not. He's the best I'm probably going to get it. She proceeded to put the cash, counting it, and then handing the money straight to him in an envelope. Here you go, Zuko. And also, make sure you stay safe. You got sand in your hair. Izuku proceeded to blink, huh? That's going through his hair, then sand was really in his hair. Oh, right. Thanks. I appreciate that. He turned around and made his way out. He sighed and said, "Look, well, at least I have enough money to help Mom, give her 10,000 for the rent, or maybe 20,000, and I keep the other 30 to 40,000, other 20,000 to myself. He gave me 49, so might as well." He sighed, rubbing his face. Whatever. As he made his way down, then he went to the store, grabbing the eggs that he needed. The 24 dozen eggs, he proceeded to web swing home. As he made his way home, changing out of his costume into his regular clothes, he unlocked and opened the door. Every once of his body felt wincing. He looked at himself, checking, nothing too badly, but still sand in my hair and my clothes. I'm gonna be cleaning out sand from my clothes for days. He proceeded to walking in as Inka proceeded to look at him. It's 11 o'clock, she said. Izuku proceeded to blink, turning around and noticing it was 11:49. You know you're staying out a lot later than usual. I got caught up with a few camera taking photos. She proceeded to sigh. Sit down, Ezekiel. He sat down, looking at his mother. I can't have you staying up to 1 a.m. in the morning. So whatever you're doing out there, taking pictures, hanging out with Gwen, Harry, or your sister, or Koski, I just can't have you out there just wandering. So I need you to do something for me. Start coming home at 10, sharp. Zuko's eyes widening. Wait, you're putting a curfew on me? You never put a curfew on me before. Because I never thought I needed to. You always came home when you were done with everything. And that was before 8. Before. You came home at 8, sharp. Never need to put a curfew on you before because you always came home. Early. Before your father passed. She simply said, but from now on, 10. That's all you're getting. Enough time to stay out and do whatever you want to do. Relax, hang out with Gwen, your sister, Koski, Harry, and then enough to take photos, and then back home sharp. Do you hear me? Izuku sighed. Yeah, I hear you. And if you're gonna be late, and I know sometimes you're gonna be late, call me ahead of time. He proceeds to scratch his head, understanding. All right, I'll call you ahead of time. Promise. She proceeded to smile. Good boy. She rubbed his hair, noticing there was sand in his hair. Did she go to the beach? Izuku proceeded to blink. Yeah, I did. I went to the beach. She simply chuckled. He proceeded to hand her the check. Here. That's from Mr. Jameson. Another one? She looked at the check. The same 49,000 yen. She counted it, took 10,000 from it, leaving the 20,000 to himself. The 30,000 to himself. Mom, you can take more. No, I already got his image share. She gave me 30,000 out of her 50,000, leaving her 20. I said I was just going to take the 10, but she really was adamant of letting me have 30. Then take the 20, Mom. No, you both need money for yourselves and for your careers. She has to have hair school, and you're taking photography. And your father's old camera is probably not going to last very long. She proceeded to look at the camera. It was scratched, cracked, and broken in certain areas. Right. Zuko stopped. Spider-Man fights. Of course. He proceeded to look at it, then look at her. He opened his mouth, but no buts. Buy a new camera. Got it? Got it. She proceeded to hand him dinner. He proceeded to start eating, and then he proceeded to ask, "Hey, Mom. I met Mr. Osborne today, and he said he knew Dad and you." She proceeded to pause, going quiet. She sat down for tea, as she looked at her son. Yes, we did. He was more of your father's friend than mine. Your father and Mr. Osborne were close in their childhood. Your father, Masaru, and Mr. Osborne. They called them the dramatic trio. Then they met Dr. Connors. And Otto Octavius. And David Shield. Azuka proceeding to cough for a moment. Did you just say David Shield? Yes. Your father had a lot of friends. Ones that used to be regular men that now are in high places. I know. Azuka proceeded to look at his mother, then looking at her. What happened? Why did they all split? When they built Oscorp together, there were certain directions that each of them wanted to take Oscorp. But Norman had a different opportunity. He named it after himself. Otto still works for him. Connors works for him here and there once in a while, but he has his own lab. And you and your father and Norman had a falling out over something. What? About 20 to 50 years ago, they were given a substance, a black substance to study. They wanted it to be revolutionary for cancer, but your father said that there was something off about it, dangerous. Norman ignored it, and they had a falling out. I don't know all the details. Your father kept that close to his chest. I only know the bare minimum that he told me. Norman was stubborn, he didn't want to listen, and he left Oscorp. And so he worked abroad and coming home and find a way to stay home. Yep, she said. She proceeded to sip her tea. Just be careful with that man. He's not the same man that he used to be. Okay? He nodded. He gave me a job opportunity at Oscorp. She proceeded to raise an eyebrow. Interesting. Should I take it? If you want to pursue science, that's the best place you can do. But I would be more comfortable if you took Dr. Connors. She stood again, then looking. But if Oscorp is what you want to really succeed and learn about your talents in your mind and let it explore and learn, Oscorp is the place. Gwen is there after all, so I guess it wouldn't really hurt. But she stared at him. But Norman Osborn is not a man you easily trust. There's sides of him that you should be careful of. Keep him at arm's length, as she simply said. Inuzuka nodded, wondering why his mother was so serious about this. Is he like a bad man or something like that? No, he's not a bad man. He's just a man that's kind of blinded by ambition. Like most businessmen, they want to get bigger and bigger. Right, Izuku said. Bigger and bigger. He turned away, finishing his dinner. Thanks, Mom. I'll think about it. He placed the business card down right in front of her. She looked at it. He walked towards his room. Izumi was leaning against the wall. Want to tell you what happened? Yeah, I'll tell you. He opened his door, allowing her in. He closed it. He sat her down and tossed his camera on the bed, looking at her. I got an opportunity from Norman Osborn. Interesting, she said. And Mom told you no. Yeah. Basically. She didn't say it outwards, but it was clearly obvious that it was a no. Yeah, no kidding. I can tell. You're listening? Yep. Okay, I'm not listening. But she smiled. But imagine having a curfew. Izuku scowled. Don't start with you. She simply chuckled. What? I can't help it. She simply pulled her green hair over her shoulder, then looked at him seriously. But really, she seems nervous. Like, the moment you brought Mr. Osborn it's involved, it was like guarded, as you said. Yeah, I'm really not sure what happened. I'll probably ask Mr. Osborn himself. Izumi looked at him strangely. I don't think you should do that. Not yet. Why not? He's a shady man. Even I can see it. But you just like seeing the benefit of everybody. The good. Well, he's a father after all. He's our father's his closest old friend. Why not ask him? Izumi shrugged. Maybe so. But a man that's like that, you should be careful. She stood up and proceeded to yawn. Well, I'm heading to bed. You too should do the same. Yeah, I'll do the same too. He locked his door, proceeding to sigh. Turned on his desk light. He proceeded to toss his suit underneath his bed, leaving his sweatshirts on his wrist, and then sat down on his desk, processing. Put on his notebook and started writing. Okay. Flint, Marco. Quirk, sand. Quirk boosted by a quirk drug? Probably. He tapped his head, thinking. He laid his desk upon the head on his notebook and then rubbed his eyes. One problem after another. How the heck am I supposed to do this? He processed thinking, how is this going to stop Sandman? Yeah, there's probably something he can do, but it was starting to get difficult. He closed the notebook and then pulled out the notebook with One for All. One for All. Using it in arms? No. Legs? Don't even try. Lower percentage? Probably. He started theorizing, thinking of ways he can use One for All safely. He proceeded to notice his mask on his desk, looking at it. Then he paused, looking at his costume. Then looking at the notebook. He got up, getting an idea. He touched the back of the neck where the bite is, a faint little mark, barely noticeable. Not by sight, but by touch. Okay. My strength has always been evenly distributed. It's not something that can actively turn on and turn off. But One for All is that turn on and turn off. I can turn off manually through thought, will alone. He proceeded to clench and unclench his fist. Whew. Okay. He squatted, then he looked. All right? Focus. I've always been trying to do one thing. Be like All Might, but I've never been All Might. My powers, the spider powers, the powers that the spider gave me, they're not like All Might at all. But when I got One for All, I thought that I can probably do like All Might. Be like him, like I always wanted to be. But that would hinder my own growth. Hinder the way I move. So I'm not. He proceeded to sigh, breathing in. Okay, let's try this. One for All proceeded to charge, drawing at the power. Like he always said, All Might proceeded to describe it as clenching his butt cheeks and screaming at the depth of his heart. Smash. He drew the power. The power started to build. Red veins started to glow. The red veins seemed to rise. Arthur from his arm, from his legs, from his red shoes to his legs, up his shorts to his waist, from his shorts to torso, then to his face, as it crossed in a red X glowing, as he perceived the wince, the pain. As then green emerald lightning danced around his body. Yes, as he thought, one for all. Full cowling, as he thought. Full cowling. Yeah, that sounds like a good name. He proceeded to unclench his fist. Okay. 5%. This is 5%. He felt it. He was stiff for a moment, but then he relaxed. He looked down, looking outside. No one was going to notice anyways. He looked at his window, and then he hopped down. Hopping down, and he walked towards it. He proceeded to stretch, stretching his limbs. He felt one for all. He bounced once, twice. He got at least about 10 feet in the air. It's kind of worth like my spider powers. But I can use it in levels. He's punched the air. The air wavered by the force alone. Powerful. He simply thought. He started doing shadow boxing. Then he bounced on the wall, then bounced off. He flipped in the air, then landing in a crouch. Okay. He leaped upon the wall again, and then leaped off with a backflip. This feels nice. The more he moved, the more he got comfortable. The more one for all full Callan was able to move. His limbs started to understand. The strain started to become less and less as he moved. He bounced from one wall to another, bouncing off each one. Then as he bounced to his window, flipped, and then land. In a dynamic pose. Nice. And he simply smiled. The strain was barely even noticeable now. His body was adapting fast. So 5% is a comfortable place I can use it at. As he proceeded to bound up again, he bound up, then clinged to the surface. The green lightning sparked something else, sparking red and blue instead. He blinked at the moment he clinged to the wall using spider powers. Its color changed. What the heck? He proceeded to blink once or twice. Looking at his hand, how the lightning was now dancing for a higher intensity. More lightning sparking around. He leaped down. Now using the spider strength that letting go of the gas that was the supernatural strength that was his. He clenched and unclenched his fist, looking at his hand. He didn't understand. He simply thought. The power worked in tandem. He shrugged. Oh well. Didn't matter to him. It felt nice. And it worked well. He activated it once again. Emerald green for a moment, and then it turned around in blue. Was it integrating with my powers? The moment I used my powers to change the color. It made the most sense. He can't do the one for all separately, and then his powers separately. Eventually, he was going to have to integrate them eventually. Better now than later. He proceeded to looking at his wrist. He wondered if One for All could work with his web shooters. If they wouldn't spark and destroy from the force alone. Okay, 5%. He stopped the quirk and then started it again. Emerald green. It stayed like that for a moment. He focused on keeping his spider powers from surging. There was a different feeling. One of it being incomplete. Like the lack of it being whole. He fired a web. The web stuck to the wall. It had the same effect like his body, glowing with that same emerald light as it sparked. Does it enhance my webbing? He looked at his web shooters on his wrist. Then he allowed his spider powers to flow, letting the gas loose, relieving. As then it changed color, red and blue. Even the webbing on the wall, as the dance sparked around it, changed color too. Then it faded. He clenched and unclenched his fist. Oh well. He looked up to the ceiling, not to the ceiling, but to his window. Entered the room and then closed it. Walking into his room and then sighed. Wrote upon his notebook, one for all full cowling. Intrigued with his spider powers. He proceeded to bite the butt of the pen, looking at it. Writing. Intrigation. Interesting. Adaptable. My spider powers changed my biology. That's what I know. But now it's merging with one for all. Maybe. I'm not sure what the effects are going to be. I still don't even know the limits of this mutation that happened to me when the spider bit me. But I should be having more eye upon it. If one for all changes or my biology does, then that's a concern. He turned away, closing his notebook, and he sighed. Well, that should be fine. He thumbed his fingers. Tomorrow is Saturday. He had a full day, no school. His eyes narrowed. But he did have one thing to do. Find Flint. And he had all day. Until 10 p.m. curfew. So he would. Hunting for Flint, huh? And Alexei. He laid back, sighing. He needed to come up with a plan. Something. Anything. The next day, he woke up early, taking a jog. He placed his costume underneath his clothes. He had to wear long sleeves. Didn't need anyone noticing. Then he wore a jacket. Taking some web cartridges in his pocket, just for extra keeping, so he doesn't run out of webs. His mother proceeded to notice. You going out? Yeah, I'm going out for the day. I'm going to say hi to Harry, do a little jog, hang out with Gwen for a while. You know, the usual. Then study up. Finals is going to be coming up soon anyways. She proceeded not understanding. Right. Stay safe. Remember, curfew, 10 p.m. Is it not? I understand. He opened the door and then closed it. Morning jog, he simply thought first. He did his morning jog. Doing the American Dream plan. He needed to do that. He was still doing every day. His physique was getting better, even though it was already pretty equally built. The spider gave him an impressive physique, but All Might's dream plan made it even stronger, better. It built the muscles that needed building, needed refinement, and then it increased the ones that were already built by the bite itself. As he ran, he felt himself. He clocked and improved. 30 minutes, he proceeded to pause and think of looking at the stopwatch. Got me 20 minutes. Got here in 20 minutes. It usually takes me about an hour. I'm just jogging at a leisure pace. The one for all must be improving my time. My stamina's already pretty great. He proceeded to unclench his fist. He looked at the early morning, how the sun was still slightly rising up. There was still early morning fog. Japan was waking up slowly. It wouldn't hurt to be Spider-Man for a few hours. He smiled. Being a webhead was always one thing that he just still enjoyed a little. When there's no need for anything to be interrupted, nothing to be forced. Yeah. Gwen was still asleep, probably. He went to a place where he can change safe properly, quietly. As he changed, he proceeded to fire a web near the building, webbing his clothes there. Nobody usually steals his clothes anyways. There was a few times where his bag was missing, where he had to buy a new one, and his mother he had to lie to his mother and say like, bag kind of got stolen. She was determined to find it, but he simply said that he can buy a new one always. He ran up the wall fast. He leaped over for it ran. Let's do this. The early morning. As he leaped upon one rooftop to another, he made his way to a tall skyscraper. Calling upon it, he proceeded to stand there for a moment, taking off his mask and looking over the city. Different places, landmarks and areas. Kyoto, Mustafu, all Japan's great cities. Shibuya, you can see it from this height. They looked vast. Trains moving, the early fog lifting up. He breathed and sighed, smiling. Yep, this is the life. He looked at the edge. He smiled. He ran. He put on some music in his mask. As he placed his mask down upon his face, running, and then proceeding to leap over for an ACU fan. He slid down as the early morning news proceeded to go on. Good morning, Japan. Good early fog in the morning. Sunny day. Supposed to be sunny day. Good time. And more sightings of Spider-Man throughout the city. The wall crawler has been everywhere recently. Where activity. There's been an increase of 40% of his sightings. He's nearby. He proceeded to slide down and then leap. Leaping as he seemingly was suspended in the air for a moment as he rolled upon one steel beam crane. As he ran, he proceeded to jump into the air with flare. And then he dived. The wind whistled. His suit rippled, but as he dropped, he looked through the lenses. All right, let's do this. Early morning, Japan. He fired a web. The web clung to the building. He pulled, swung. The trees rustled as he swung high. He proceeded to look around, getting to the height of his arch, and then swing. Music proceeded to play within his ears. Ah, yeah. This is a life. He proceeded to spin in the air, doing dramatic acrobatics within the air. He proceeded to use one rooftop, being off at a 90-degree angle, then firing another web, zipping by, bouncing on the side, sliding, and then leaping off. He ran up on a rail, fired two webs, and then yanked it forward. Woo! Barrel rolling, and then swinging. All right. We got me safe, Japan. He looked around, and then he saw a getaway car. Nice. He swung after it quickly as the two men proceeded. Oh yeah, we got it. This plutonium's gonna be great. All from Oscorp. They proceeded to chuckle. Izuku swung in, chasing after them. As he proceeded to use a water tower, firing in the water tower, pulling himself forward, using another web to redirect the angle. He flipped and saw the getaway truck. There you are. He dived. And one student screamed, "Good morning, Spider-Man. Morning, pedestrian," as he simply replied. He turned at another angle, catching up to it. He proceeded to flip and then bounce on a car, using the police cars to run on them, getting closer and closer to the truck. He leaped up with a flip and then landing upon the hood. The two criminals proceeded to feel a thump. What the heck was that? I don't know, as one said. He turned his head, looking at the other guy. Go check. He proceeded to nod. He proceeded to open the door, looking around. I don't see anything. But then a web catched him, pulling him out as he screamed, "Ah!" What the heck? One woman proceeded to turn. What was that? She proceeded to get her quirk ready. Her quirk had her fingers into knives. They had a faint, a luminous glow, like preheated metal. She stared, looking around. She closed the door, and then at the window of the driver. "Hello?" asked, "What the heck? Spider-Man!" "Hey, you go, Spider-Man, webhead. Amazing. But not late for dinner." As he simply joked. So, Mr. Criminal, you know how early it is in the morning? You couldn't, take a walk, stroll, jog. I took a jog. But you decided to rob Oscorp. Plutonium. Early in the morning. Wow. You have guts. But did you know plutonium is bad for the human body? And at certain degrees, it can combust. Really? I didn't know that one. Hey, Spidey. As the guy on the passenger side said, "I got a gift for you." He proceeded to fire at the window. The driver leaning back. Whoa! Izuku proceeded to pull back his head. "Wow, you have a gift for me?" "So do I." He proceeded to fire a web, webbing the guy's gun, inking it out. Then he flipped over on the other side, grabbing the door and opening it. "So do I." He proceeded to yank him out, pulling him out as he screamed, "Ah!" firing a web. The web proceeded to cling to him as he proceeded to thrash. Oh, they're so cute when they're like that. "So, who are you?" "Me? I'm a killer." He proceeded to aim a machine gun, firing. Izuku proceeded to dodge. The bullets rained into the top of the hood of the vehicle. He proceeded to dodge and weave over. Then he proceeded to smash the glass open on the driver's side, kicking him out. He proceeded to web. Now for the big one. Spider proceeded to go off. The claws tear to where he was just sitting. He smashed through the glass, swinging over and then back, kicking the back entrance open. She proceeded to turn, glaring. "You! Me! And who is that?" "Call me Shredder." "Wow, you can't use that name. That's taken by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles." She proceeded to scowl. "But I guess you want to use it." "Sure, why not?" She growled and she rushed forward at him. He proceeded to leap over her, webbing her first hand. She scowled, cutting it free. "Wow, that's actually pretty impressive." He dodged many of her strikes, noticing the plutonium starting to loosen up. Uh-oh. He proceeded to dodge another strike. Another weave, firing a web at her leg. He proceeded to fire it, shutting it towards the light pole. She proceeded to blink. "Huh? Bye." And then the web tugged, pulling her out as she screamed, "Ah!" Adorable. He noticed several plutoniums getting loose. "Oh, no you don't." He fired a web, catching one. Another. He's catching several with his hand, wrist, and foot. He caught most of the plutonium. All of them, in fact. Whew. That was close. He noticed one more. hanging, dangling. No, don't you dare. It proceeded to bounce as the car was now, driverless. It proceeded to flip over. Izuku was sitting ground. Oh, right, I forgot about that part. The car crashed. He proceeded to try to use his enhanced senses. Everything's slowing down. He saw it, the last plutonium, firing a web, yanking it. And then he fired more webs, wrapping all the webbing around all the plutoniums, and then tossing them out and webbing them to a street light as it hanged and dangled. The large truck came to a stop at the edge of a street. As he walked out, coughing, waving his hand. Woo! He's a white lids per se look around. Okay. I'll get to the neighborhood. Several civilians proceeded to look, taking pictures. Thank you. I appreciate all the support. But I have to go. As police cars proceeded to arrive, he swung away quickly before you're getting caught by any cop. He quickly made his way, leaving. As he swung through the air, he proceeded to think, all right. Now, time to look for Flint. Where could he be? Several hours would pass. 5 to 6. No luck. As he proceeded to eat a hamburger, he simply got and ordered. He proceeded to sit upon a rooftop, eating, tapping upon, as he proceeded to play a game on his phone, waiting. No Flint. And it's 3:30. I'm stopping crimes, taking on criminals, stopping robbers, stopping gunfights, and saving cats from trees, and yet no supervillain decided to come out. Wow. When you want some action, the actions don't want to come out until later. He got a message from Gwen. She proceeded to say she's off work. He typed in, oh good, how was it? She was saying eventful. The plutonium that was stolen from this morning was once again put back in Oscorp hands. And it was made sure to stay highly away in a more secure area. Huh. Nice. She proceeded to say they were taking a lot of time removing each web from each plutonium. He chuckled. At least they were having a good time. She simply sent a smirking emoji saying, if you mean taking and stripping each plutonium from webs on it, then yes, they had a very good time. He stopped and felt his spices go off. Oh. He noticed it was just a cat. Huh? Just a cat. He laid back and chilling, typing on his phone. Right, okay. He proceeded to be shipped, continuing to type on his phone, as then a voice said, so, you're just going to stand there. He paused and looked up to see Daredevil. Oh, Daredevil. I didn't see you there. He simply chuckled. Of course you didn't. You weren't paying attention. But your sixth sense warned you, didn't it? Well, yeah, I saw a cat. But I guess that was you, huh? Yep. He walked around and looking at him. Where's Punisher? He's doing some criminals. I made sure to steal his lethal rounds. So he's using non-lethal today. Huh. Impressive. Caught me surprised. He proceeded to chuckle. Yes, surprised indeed. But what really surprised me, kid, is you've been a lot more active recently. You noticed? Of course. I notice. I'm Daredevil. Right, you are. You wouldn't notice. So, what brings you to find me? Just wondering, kid. You faced the new threat yesterday, didn't you? Yep. A villain. A criminal that was just a low rank. But now he's not so low rank. Flint Marco, Sandman. I read his record, his file. You have? How could you? Secret identity. But let's just say I'm in the law. Huh, Izuku said. Interesting. He simply smiled. Yep. But the real question is, kiddo, what are you doing? Not much. Waiting for this guy to come out. But he's not showing any sign yet. Daredevil seems to say and hum. Very much. Yeah, basically. He'll stop laying down upon the curb, then looking at Daredevil. As he stood up and then saying, I have a question. Go on. So, there's a rumor that you're blind. Is that true? Daredevil proceeded to smile. Yep, I am. Zuko was just white in shock. Wait, you're actually blind and yet you fight crime. How do you do it? Well, when I was younger, I was quirkless. Huh. Zuko raised an eyebrow. But when I lost my sight, most of my other senses increased. It had to work for me. I had to learn how to use them. And now they're superhuman? You can say that, yeah. I listen to sight, touch, taste, and smell. Well, not sight anymore. It's just touch, taste, and smell. And hearing, mostly. So you can't see. But all my other senses give me a type of 3D map in my head. I can technically see you. What? Wow. That's actually pretty cool. Daredevil proceeded to tap his shoulder. It's impressive, actually. Every time your muscles twitch, it's like hearing steel cables. But now there's a new sound to it. One of static. It wasn't there before, but now it's louder than before. Concentrated. He pointed towards his sternum. Here. Huh? Wait, you can hear that? Yep. It's a lot louder than it's louder, but it's not subtle either. Or it tries to be. But if you listen closely, really listen to it, you can actually hear it. Probably only in really, really enhanced people can hear it. Huh. That's actually interesting. Yeah, it is. Daredevil proceeded to turn, looking forward. All right, kid, I gotta go. He placed his hand upon his shoulder. You stay safe. Don't do anything too reckless. Izuku simply chuckled. Right, I won't. He simply turned, jumping over a building, then disappearing into the alley below. I won't. He fired a web, swinging. As he swung through the city, he proceeded to think. Okay, Zuko, what to do? You can't find Flint, and he's not showing up. Spider sense going off. His head proceeded to ring, tingle loudly. He turned his head, hearing a store alarm go off. He proceeded to flip and then land on a streetlight, seeing it was a jewelry store. and then a burst of sand exploded. Flint and Marco with Alexei, they proceeded to grin, running to their getaway car. There you are, Izuku thought. And this time, instead of just announcing to myself, I'm gonna prevent the getaway car from getting away this time. He fired a web, webbing the getaway car's car, and webbing Alexei's hands to the trunk. As he set the trunk down, grinning, we got the money. But before they can celebrate, Webb slammed down upon Alexei's hands. He blinked in shock. What the? Are those webs? As Flint said, scowling. And then Izuku proceeded to say, "Heyo, Spider-Man!" As both scenes shouted. Yep, that's me. So, how are you doing? Looks like you're robbing a jewelry store. That's not gonna be so no good. He proceeded to smile. But I can gladly take those off your hands and give them rightfully back to the store. Yeah, right. As Flint proceeded to shift his hands, grinning, he proceeded to free Alexei and then smile. Get out of here. Go. I'll catch up. Me and the bug have unfinished business. Ooh, I'm so scared, Izuku said, mocking. Flint's eyes narrowed. Oh, you'll be scared all right when I'm finished with you, bughead. Wow. That is something. Izuku seemed smirk. So, as the two proceeded to get ready to fight, Izuku leaped down with a flip and then laying in a crouch. As Izuku proceeded to say, all right, Flint, let's finish this. Me and you. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. His hands shifted, morphing. He grinned, then launched himself forward, with his lower torso becoming a wave of sand. Come here, webhead. Izuku leaped over him, dodging with a flip, then fired a web at a mailbox, tossing it at him. He proceeded to notice the mailbox proceeded to smash into him, dispersing as he turned to sand and reforming. You know you can't hurt me, you dumb bug. But I can't hurt you. He launched himself, his fist forward, a fist of sand. He proceeded to hit Izuku as he groaned, grabbing him and tossing him into a car. The car proceeded to crumple under his force alone, then grabbing him again, throwing him around into several more vehicles. He proceeded to wince. Don't make me have to hurt you. Then he tossed him into the air. Izuku shouted, oh crap. Fired two webs, yanking himself back down. Then he proceeded to fire a web, pulling out a fire hydrant, and then it sprayed next to Flint. He proceeded to scream, ah! And then half of his face got soaked, his face turning to mud. Izuku proceeded to blink. Wait, water? Of course, why did I not think of that before? Flint's face proceeded to turn to mush. Half of his right arm proceeded to slump and drop like heavy sacks. Frick. My forearm. Damn it. He proceeded to toss the half, and his arm regrew. He grabbed the mud face, half of his face that was mud, removing it roughly, letting it splat as the sand reformed again, dry. He scowled. You got lucky for that one. Huh. You don't like mud? Or you like water? He proceeded to growl. Izuku dodged another attack. I gotta get into a large body of water. But where? He fired a web, swinging. Flint followed, rushing forward. Izuku could be seen dodged every one of his attacks. Spears of sand and others. He swinging through the city. Where the heck do I go? Dagobah, Can I reach there in time? He dodged another one of Flint's attacks, a car that he threw. He fired a web, stopping the car from crashing into somebody. Sorry about that. As he proceeded to turn directions, as Flint followed as a large sandstorm. Okay. The sun was setting, getting low. It was starting to get dark. Evening turned to good old nightly hours. Or what was it called? I forgot. He proceeded to get hit by a wave of sand. He groaned as he found himself in a construction site, groaning. Okay, that hurts. He got up slowly, wincing at the pain in his ribs. Flint proceeded to reform, gathering more sand. So you think you can just hurt me, webhead, huh? Okay, fine. The sand, I am sand. Water did not feel comfortable. It didn't hurt, though, but it was annoying. Yeah, I bet it was annoying, wasn't it? Slow, sluggish. He proceeded to notice that he was close to a harbor, actually. And then he smirked. And then he noticed something. But, hey, what can I say? I die hard. Yeah, you'd be dying all right. Flint's hands turned into large spiked maces as tonight. Ooh. But then a voice seemed to say, well, that's not happening for either of you two. As a man dropped, he was a very lanky man, a man with a scarf around his neck and long black hair, with goggles on his face. Huh? Flint proceeded looking confused. Who the hell are you? Izuka looked at the man for a moment, then realized, you're a Razorhead. Underground hero. Here? Oh my gosh. I'm your biggest fan. I'm one of your biggest fans. I would grab one of my notebooks, but I currently can't do that. But Iris had seen it turn, looking at him. Short eyes always studying the vigilante. He realized the vigilante was just a kid. I'm too old for this shit. Flip seems to scowl. Stay out of this, hero. This is between me and Spider-Man. Well, I can't really do that for either of you. You're under arrest. And you are under arrest for quick uses for a long while. So, both of you surrender. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. Really? Flint said. And who's gonna make me? You? His captain weapon proceeded to hover, floating. As Azawa put on his goggles, his eyes going red. If I have to, I must. Bring it, hero. Flip proceeded to launch at him. Sand proceeded to coalesce. Azawa proceeded his scarf to move quickly out the way. He scowled, then a large construction pole proceeded to strike him in the back, going through him as he proceeded to scowl, glaring at who threw it. All right, you first, webhead. Whoops. My bad. He proceeded to launch himself forward. Izuka was leaping over him, firing a web, and then Flint proceeded to grab it, reeling him forward, and giving him a punch in the face. Izuka groaned as he winced, falling over and holding his face. Ow, 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 that hurts. He dodged it again as Flint's his hand turned into a wrecking ball, slamming to where his head was. The same wrecking ball proceeds to turn into a spiked mace. A spiked mace wrecking ball. You think you can beat me, webhead? I'm the Sandman. The more sand I get, the powerful I become. I'm literally a god. He started growing bigger, larger. Okay. That's actually going to become a problem. Azawa proceeded to use his quirk. For a moment, Flip His body was seen to tremble, shiver, and then shrug it off. As he continued to growl, I saw his eyes widening. What? Why am I not work? I don't know what happened to his power, Izuku said seriously, but whatever happened to his power, it enhanced by dramatically folds. Triggers thing? Or Izuku's eyes widening, thinking an experiment. The only thing I can probably do that is science. There's someone making biological super villains. He had to be kidding me, Izuku thought. They looked up, turning to see Flint as he slammed his large fist into the ground. The sand monster was... They're aiming for both of them. Izuku picked up Aizawa, firing a web, swinging away. Izuku flipped and landed upon one of the steel beams of the unfinished building. Okay. As he crouched down, Flint proceeded to look around. So we're gonna have to work together. How does that sound? Me work with a vigilante. With you. Yes, it does. I should be arresting you, kid. Look, I get it. I'm a kid as unauthorized using quirk uses. But right now, things don't look so good. He's a danger for other people. We need to protect people. I'm here to protect others. If he gets out of this area, he becomes a danger for everybody around. We need to stop him here. I have an idea. We get him into the water. It makes him slow and sluggish. He turns into literal mud. He's made out of sand. His whole body's made of sand. He used to be human, but not anymore. He's literally a sandman. Literally, it's in his name. If we can get him to that mud, he'll slow down. My next part of the plan is to get him under that melted cement over there. That cement truck. We turn it on. They let it douse him. He becomes a statue. Problem solved. Will he be alive? Technically, he'll be a statue. But yeah, he'll be alive. I don't think he needs to eat or drink. He turned away, looking at Flint. He proceeded to growl. Fine. As I was to say. After this, you're coming with me. Right, Izuku said. With you, totally. Izuku proceeded to stand. Ready? Aizawa nodded, staring at the masked hero. He says, "You're a teenager, aren't you?" What? Yeah, I am. 14. Spider-Man. He gave up his hand. Aizawa. Shoto Aizawa. He took his hand. But here, just call me Eraserhead. Right. I know that. Aizawa put his goggles back on. Alright, let's do this. He proceeded to jump into the fray. Izuku following along. As he swung, the two proceed. Izuku proceeded, "Hey, Flint! You know, for a big guy called Sandman, you could really do a beach day, you know? Maybe turn it into a big sandcastle. So and stuff like that. Or hey, a large sand. Crocodilian. Whatever you want to be. Or maybe a sand jail. Are you making fun of me?" asked the large sand creature proceeded to shout. Maybe not. He proceeded to launch his large arm forward. Oh boy. He proceeded to dodge, swinging over, using it as leverage to jump forward. He proceeded to leap, and then small minions of sand like men proceeded to rush forward. Aizawa proceeded to dispatch them several. He kicked one, punched another. They just fell apart and created a large puddle of sand. Izuku proceeded to dodge another one. He webbed one down. Then he punched another. These guys are coming in a lot of groups of 10. We need to take him down now. He's getting too big. He's gathering more sand. This whole place is sand. He looked around, looking. We need to get into the water. He saw the edge, a large body of water in the harbor, nearby. Not far, maybe 20 feet away. finally only getting 20 feet away. He leaped over as Sam seeing the collapse right under him, crushing into a small pillar-like rock. The sand lashed out, grabbing him, pulling him down. Where do you think you're going, webhead? As one of the Flint's many clones said, "You've been a pain in my ass for the longest time. I warned you. This isn't going to end well." Izuku proceeded to start with thrash as the sand proceeded to coalesce. "Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Again?" He started feeling the sand wrap around, constricting him. It proceeded to coalesce. Aizawa noted, "No, kid!" He proceeded to move forward. "This is really starting to become a problem. Constriction, my biggest weakness. Being concealed by another object." The sand coalesced, and then it turned into a rock-like pillar, crushing together into a sand-like rock. "No!" as I was shouted, pushing the guy away. As he watched as it was solidified, hardened, and it was done. "Yeah," asked the large Flint proceeded to say. Finally, his annoying chatting will shut up. "Now for you." Aizawa proceeded to turn. Damn it. He proceeded to dodge another attack. Izuku proceeded, and it was suffocating. Damn it. Losing oxygen. Being completely collapsed in something of sand. Starting to realize that anything that's liquid or can wrap around me probably is my biggest weakness. I need to focus. I'm breathing and breathing out. But I can't breathe. I need to reach out. His eyes were closing. I need to move. And then he remembered. Gwen. Mom. Harry. All Might. Sumi. God, John. His eyes closed, and then a voice spoke. Get up. Don't fall here. You're not done yet. You're far from done. Now rise up and fight. He proceeded to notice a man in white hair with a shirt. Go. You're far from over. This is not the end. Your time is not time. It's not your time yet. Now go. You have so many lives to save. His hand opened up as a light began to shine, shining to seven other people. It bounced from one of them, each one to the other, coalescing, changing colors each time as it met another, reaching the eighth, a flaming individual that was familiar, going to him. The light proceeded to coalesce, glowing brightly as an emerald to a red and blue. It shined. Now fight, as the voice said. Izuku's eyes snapped open, adrenaline rushing through his system. One for all activated on his own, green lightning turning red and blue. As then his muscles bulged, he proceeded as the sheer force alone was able to free him. Boom! Aizawa was being pinned by several of the Sandmen beating on him. He proceeded to notice and blink. Izuku proceeded to drop, gasping and coughing. That hurts. He went to this lung. My lungs hurt. Everything hurts. But nothing hurts more than losing right here. Flint proceeded to stare. How? You were dead? So did I. But you know what? I'm not gonna bother to ask. He bent his knees, one for all crackling, the red and blue lightning dancing intensely. He moved forward, blasting. He leaped faster. Flint proceeded to try to swing at him. He dodged. He arrived at Aizawa's side, proceeding to sweep one of the sand clones, and then hitting another, punching punching and elbowing the other two. He landed a strong punch. Detroit smash! As he shouted, blasting the other one, sending it into a pillar, to a steel beam pillar, as it exploded. What the heck? When did you? He gave out a hand to Aizawa. He took it, bringing him up. I thought you were dead. So did I. But the one thing I do know is I'm not dead. My lungs do hurt a lot. They really, really hurt a lot. So, we're gonna execute this plan, or, yeah, you think you can take care of the big guy? The real him? Yeah, I think I can take him down a size or two. It took Pristine to step forward. Pristine to bounce on his toes and then leap. Okie dokie, big guy. Get here. He proceeded to launch himself forward. Izuku dodged, then firing webbing. The webbing was intense, cracking with the same lightning around his body. He webbed his legs first. What the? Oh. Then his torso, then his arms. Swinging around, and he stopped. He proceeded to backflip. Everything was slowed down, slow motion. She fired 2 webs at 2 steel beams. Using the momentum, he proceeded to launch them down. Down with a pound axe kick. One for all, full Cali. Manchester smash! Boom! It hit him in the chest. Flint stumbled back. The force was enough to blow him back. There wasn't the one for all's intense power, but Izuku's spider strength on top of it with momentum. Math. Math is the one that saved the day. He stumbled back several steps, covering the 20 feet. Then he splashed right into the waters behind the construction site, into the harbor. He bubbled for several moments. Izuku landed in a crouch position on a steel beam, Aizawa watching. Did we get him? Hold on. Let's just wait. And then something rised, a muddy hand. The muddy limb proceeded to rise, getting smaller and smaller as mud proceeded to cling, dropping. Be like sacks, so sandbags. The individual proceeded the garble. He couldn't cohese himself together solidly to a physical human shape. What the hell did you do to me? Well, science, in fact. When, water meets sand, it becomes heavy, damp, wet. It loses its form completely. I explain on and on about the chemical reaction, but right now, you're just mud, bud. He proceeded his force to change, shrinking as he proceeded to fall to his knees and snarl. You'll pay for this, forming his hands into mace axes, but they were dripping with mud. He ran forward, each step proceeding to clog up more of the sand, of the mud. He leaped forward towards Izuku. Izuku dodged. He spun and fired a web, tossing him straight under the cement truck. Aizawa proceeded to wrap him up in his capture wrap. Izuku fired the web. The web proceeded to hit the lever of... As then the cement dripped down. What the? And then he proceeded to be covered in hot cement. Ugh, get this off me. As the moment it started to cool, it was cooling rapidly. As I proceeded to pull his capture weapon back, his scarf, as he watched. The two watched as Flint proceeded to cover in cement. All the cement proceeded to leave the cement truck, as his whole body was covered in cement completely. As they proceeded to stare, it was over. The Sandman was defeated. Izuku leaped over, flipping with a flip, and then fired a web hanging upside down. I can still feel the heat over here. Ooh. Sizzle, 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 sizzle. As he simply chuckled. Look, I can call him the statue of the great Sandman. Hear he, hear he. I present to you Flint Marco. Under custody, as I simply said. Yep, basically. As I simply stared at him. We did it, Izuku said. Yes, we did. He simply sighed. Problem child. I'm not a problem child. You are one already. As I then turned towards him. But now I gotta arrest you. Do you? Yes, I do, and you're coming with me, like I said. Yeah, about that. He fired a web, webbing Aizawa's hands together. Aizawa tried to use his capture weapon, but nothing worked. He tried using his powers. One for all flickered and died. Using his quirk, Izuku could proceed aside. Well, that was going to happen eventually. Why aren't you... Oh, that was my quirk, but naturally, I don't really have a quirk. I have powers. They're not really quirk-based. So you can't really stop me. But I am going to call the police. He called the police already. They're already underway. He hung up and then proceeded to say, they'll free you from the webbing. It lasted about 2 hours. He turned away as he swung and then leaped upon a steel beam. And also, it was good working with you. It was good working with you, Aizawa. Or Eraserhead. But I can't let you turn me in. There's too many people that need my help right now. I'm not done yet. Far from it. Aizawa stared. You're going to continue, aren't you? Yep, I'm going to continue. And hey, relax. At least you got one criminal. He fired another web. And swinging off in the distance. The city, in its darkened state with lights on. The police proceeded to arrive about an hour later, freeing Aizawa as Detective Tsukaki proceeded to arrive. Aizawa, what happened here? Or Webhead, as he simply said. Spider-Man again, huh? We're getting a lot of those recently. No kidding. So, what was this one? Sand manipulation, A rank. High A rank. Or a B rank, I don't know. But the moment he touched this area, he probably grew into a large threat. Oh, as he simply said, he turned towards Aizawa. And Spider-Man, smart, intelligent, extremely, but he's also a kid. Makes sense. Description matches it. It's a shame he would have been a pretty good hero student. Agreed. As I proceeded to say, he turned away walking. Let me guess. You're gonna try to find him. Yep, I'm gonna try to find this kid. I'm not gonna stop until I find him. He doesn't need to be wasting his talents being a vigilante. He can just take the hero course. Good idea. As I proceeded to leave, he proceeded to get a message from Nezu. The message already said everything he needed to know. Of course, the principal already knew everything. And he was already planning a lot of things. He sighed, rubbing his eyes. He proceeded to grab his eye drops, putting it in as he blinked, letting them moisturize his eyes, and groaning. This is the last thing I need. He had to continue his work, his hero work, as he continued his patrol. He took a swing through the city as it was close to 9:30. Great, I have 30 minutes left. He fired a web, swinging. But the pictures of Sandman could wait. He proceeded to arrive home, flipping and then changing into the alley. As he proceeded to spit out sand. Great. Sand everywhere. In my hair, boots, pants, and mouth. He opened the door. As Inca proceeded to look up, Izumi proceeded behind the couch as Koski was simply relaxed. Harry and Gwen were watching TV with them. Huh, there you are, nerd. I was wondering where you went. Just came back. Photos. Inca proceeded to say, oh, good, she proceeded to say, looking again. And you arrived early. Yeah, I did. Wait, what are you two doing here? He looked at Gwen, Harry, and Koski. Sleepover, as Jimmy said. Sleepover? Inca proceeded to nod. I thought it was the best. Huh. Interesting, he said. Gwen proceeded to stand, walking over. She took his hand. Are you alright? He nodded. He took her to his room. She proceeded to notice the sand all over his hair. She proceeded to brush his hair, wiping the sand off. Let me guess, you faced Flint Marco, yeah. Did anything happen? Anything you want to tell me? No. Maybe if I got really close to death, you wouldn't trip out, but no. She looked at him, her eyes narrowed. Okay. Yeah, I did get close to death today. I kind of almost got crushed by sand, or I did. And then, she proceeded to hold him. At least you're alive, she sighed. But you won't tell me in detail what the battle happened. No, I won't. He proceeds to simply hold her, noticing how he was literally covered in sand. He removed his shoes, sighing, took the costume underneath, lifting his boots and tilting it as sand proceeded to drip out. Izuku scowled. Great. Sand everywhere, he grumbled. She proceeded to chuckle. Go and kiss his cheek. How about you get dressed and we have our sleepover, don't you think? Yeah, I think I'll enjoy that. He did so, took a shower, and he proceeded to sigh, stretching. He looked at his suit. He smelled it. Ugh. Then he tossed it in the washer with some other clothes to hide it. He turned it on and it started washing. He walked away. As he walked away, he proceeded to sit, laying down beside his Gwen. Harry proceeded to fist bump him, smiling. Kosuke and Izumi were relaxing by each other. The three watched a movie. This seems like a good day, Izuku smiled, relaxing back. Good day indeed. Across the city, they received a report, seeing Hammerhead proceeded to slam his fist upon the desk, the console. He got captured. As Tombstone proceeded to nod, he did indeed. He wasn't enough to beat Spider-Man. His strength was impressive, yes, but it looks like the webhead got a power increase also. Or he was holding back. It looks like that bug is much more of a bigger threat than we realized. Yes, indeed. As Tombstone proceeded to staring at the monitor that recorded the whole fight. stronger than anything. That wellspring that showed up in the later half of the fight, he was holding it back. Like he didn't know how to use it until then. Hammerhead proceeded to say, "So what do we do now, boss?" Turns up proceeded close to the monitor. We allow the bug to give a break. In the next text. Inform Alexei he's next. Get him ready. He escaped boss with the money. Good. He's growing faster. The spider. He crossed his arms looking over the city. This bug might be a bigger threat than they realized. He turned away looking. And if we can't take him out, then you might as well recruit him to my cause. Recruit Spider-Man, Hammerhead said. Yes, if you can't control them, join him. We recruit him. We find what he wants. Any man can be bought with money. Right, as Hammerhead said. Go. I need some time alone. He proceeded to walk away. And then a man from the shadows proceeded to appear, Norman Osborn. So, he survived. Indeed he did. Stronger than before. Reunified. He's intelligent, smart. You can see the way he moves. He calculates it. An intelligent mind's behind that mask, but he hides it behind jokes and quips. A child, but with a mind of a scientist. Indeed. But the real question is, what do we do with him? Do what you want. I get to see this Spider-Man in action. Yes, in fact. His powers interest me. They're unique, powerful. If I can replicate the strength of Spider-Man, then just maybe my super serum would work. And you'd think by replicating Spider-Man's powers, that'll be it. Yes. He's the ultimate predator. I want it. That power. Norman turned around, turning away. It would be amazing to have it. Right. He turned and looked over the city. But it won't be easy. The big man turned as Tombstone stood up. You plan whatever you plan, I do what I want. As time skip, a month would pass, or 2 months. It was getting closer and closer to the time. Izuku continued patrolling, swinging, being Spider-Man. And before he knew it, it was the end of the school year. His final years of middle school were coming to an end. He proceeded to sit in his class as the teacher was yapping. He pulled up career papers. All right, I remember giving you all assignment that you were write down what you wanted to be and what you wanted to do for your high school careers. He looked at all of his students. They all stared at him, and he stared back, and he smiled, tossing them into the air. But who am I kidding? I know you all want to be heroes. The class proceeded to cheer with a roar, using their quirks. Now, no quirk users here. And Tsubaki goes to be scoffed. Don't let me in what these losers teach. Me and Izumi got the whole class beat. Izumi proceeded to smirk. Yes, that's true. But there's no need to be rude about it. What? I'm just saying the truth. The truth, as Zuko simply thought. The truth of the fact is I'm Spider-Man. And the most capable hero to take the hero course exam. I've taken on the Sandman and the Vulture and several criminals. Too many to count. And yet, here am I acting quirkless. I could take the exam. I'm one of the better heroes. I coughed or Jimmy confidently now. And then he simply turned away, keeping his head down. And Izuku Midoriya. Everyone proceeded to go quiet. And then they started laughing. Izuku Midoriya, hero, going to UA? That's hilarious. I'm not going to UA, Izuku says. I'm going to UA for not the hero course, but just the general program. General studies. Izumi proceeded to look at him. She proceeded to have a sad look in her eyes, but she just didn't show it outwardly. Cocky proceeded to roar, telling them all to shut their mouths. As the day proceeded to go by, the end of the class came in, and Izuku proceeded to stretch. Several bullies proceeded to give him some advice to take a swan dive, but they were fended off by Koski with one simple explosion. Izuku didn't listen, didn't care. He took many swan dives off from roofs. If they didn't know, he did it for a living, literally, for the past year and a half now. He looked up as he packed his stuff. You okay? Izumi said, yeah, I'm fine. Totally. He walked with them as Harry was already outside with Gwen holding her books. I heard what they said. Don't let that get to you. Hey, I'm okay. The group walked out. Harry proceeded to say, so you want to all crash at my place? Izumi proceeded to grin. That would be nice. Koski proceeded to scoff. Wouldn't it? I guess, if you want to, Billion. You don't have to call me that nickname. Right. Whatever you say, big ears. Harry proceeded to scowl, sticking out his tongue. Koski proceeded to flip him off. They had this weird relationship for a while now. Gwen simply chuckled. As excited. This was good. Good day, good moment, good everything. He continued walking away as everything seemed to be just fine, going well. This is when good old counterclock time would call on for certain mass vigilante cop cars. As they entered the school building, Gwen gave him a look that said it all. Izuku noticed the cop cars and noticed her look. He nodded. Well, gotta go, Izuku said. Izumi proceeded to look at her brother. What? Why? We just left school. We haven't got to Harry's place. Yeah, man. You've been ditching us a lot recently, as Harry said. I know, gotta do freelance photography. If I don't get it, Jonah's gonna be on my case. And if Spider-Man's there, then, Barker proceeded to scowl. Then said, go off, nerd. Go take pictures. We all know you need the money anyways. Yeah, later. He proceeded to run off, running. Gwen proceeded to nod. Izumi proceeded to notice the sad look in her eyes. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Let's go. Harry proceeded to notice also. He scowled. He didn't like the fact that Izuku was ditching his own girlfriend. For what? Pictures of Spider-Man? It was Spider-Man always. Spider-Man this, Spider-Man that. He turned around, walking away. Izuku ran. He was running, changing into his costume through the stadium, and it swinged out the alley. He launched up into the air, swinging. All right. Let's get to work. The day was going well. Alexei was waiting. So, boss, what's it supposed to be? Tombstone proceeded to stare at him behind the glass wall, in the same warehouse building that Flint was changed into. Well, it was your turn to test. It's been a month, almost 3 months since Flint's been arrested. And I see it's as good a time as any for you to not get your own. We're gonna see if the Spider-Man can handle you, enhanced, powered. Otto proceeded to use his mechanical arms, each arm attaching a seemingly iron-like suit to his body, as he laid upon a table-like strap. The table lifted as Alexei proceeded to stare. What was it supposed to be? An exoskeleton bioenhancement, as Otto simply says. It's supposed to bolster your strength. It bonds to you at the molecular level, enhancing your quirk's abilities. And we're going to add a certain calligraphy on top of it. Otto proceeded to walk out. As he walked beside, the shorter man proceeded to look at Mr. Osborn. He stared and nodded. He already knew the deal. He sighed. Tombstone proceeded to watch. Hammerhead proceeded to say, and remember, you get a chance to take down the bug. If you have the chance, you take it. Yeah. I'll get revenge for Flint, for me, and for the big man. The bug's going down. Otto used one of his mechanical arms to activate the lever. The lever proceeding to come down, and then the collagular proceeded to activate. The grayish-like substance proceeded to flow. It was heated, hot. Doc, this is really hot. It proceeded to flow around from the cocoon. It was cocooned around and heated, solidified. It filled in containment in each gap of the exoskeleton, wrapping, bonding, enhancing, strengthening. It was working. They wasted it all, every ounce of it, and it finished. The chamber steamed. As it steamed, a crack formed. Another one, and then boom, exploded. A hulking figure stomped through. Alexei, in an armor-like body of a rhino. Armor-like platings hardened, cooled off. He clenched and unclenched his fist. Hey, I feel stronger, my quirk. I can feel it. I can feel the power flowing through me. Just like the exoskeleton is bonded with the hardening substance. It's working in tandem. It's working exactly like intended. Yes, it is. So, what can I do? Enhance strength, as Norman simply said. Our say, not just enhance strength. Durability, impenetrable. Nothing can get through your hide. Absolutely nothing. Nothing can pass through either. He proceeded to tap the hide. It's extremely thick. It can absorb blunt force trauma. Adaptation. Absorbing. Redirecting. It's very sophisticated. Well. So that means I can crush the bug easily. In that terms, yes. Thanks, Doc. I appreciate this. He proceeded to clench and unclench his fist, flexing his arm. Yeah, the bug's going down. You best start looking, as Norman said. Yeah, I know one place to go. The Bugle. Yeah, picture of Spider-Man. I can probably find whoever takes his pictures there. Then he can lead me straight to the webhead. And then it's payback time. He proceeded to run, running as he smashed through the wall. Sorry about that. No problem, as Otto said, and Rhino proceeded left. Cars proceeded to beep loudly. Izuku's walking through David Hugo, crawling instead of walking. I can't believe I literally half to go through this way. Why couldn't eighth way not be the problem? At the same time, Rhino was making his way through, all the way through to the top of the Daily Bugle. Go confronting J. Jonah Jameson. As Izuku proceeded to enter the supply closet, he proceeded to put on his shoes. And then walking to look and peer in to see, oh, that's a big guy. Where is he? Where's who? Izuku Midoriya. I know he's here. I don't know what you're talking about. He's an online photographer. He doesn't really show up here at all. He proceeded to growl slowly as Rhino holding it tightly. Jordan proceeded to point towards the door. Izuku noticed. And then he turned towards the door, nodding, and proceeded to sneak his way out. As Izuku proceeded to watch this, well, someone's looking for me. Might as well find out why. He put on his mask, putting it on and changing. I'm not asking you again. Where is Izuku Midoriya? Hi, buddy. Huh? He turned around to see Spider-Man on the ceiling. How's it going? Yeah, you're looking for Izuku Midoriya. So am I. He's supposed to take my pictures today, but, you know, I'm kind of looking for him. Spider-Man! The person I was looking for. Huh? You're looking for me? I thought you just said you were to find you. He takes your pictures. Your dumb, stupid pictures. I was gonna find him to find you. Aw, you shouldn't have. And, you sound familiar. Wait a minute. Alexi. Yeah. But you just call me Rhino. Oh, wow. Rhino. Real creative. What's so funny, Bug? He tossed the way Jonah proceeded to scream as Izuku fired a web, whipping him as he bounced on the web. Spider-Man! You! Yeah, me, I know. And oh yeah, give me the cut of that paycheck. I would love to have it. He proceeded to drop down. So, you're pretty big. When did you become a beefcake? Overnight. Overnight? Yeah. That sounds so good. So, let me guess. Some little thing that happened to Flint happened to you, huh? Yeah, the big man. And the big man wants you off his back. Wow. This big man really does not like me, does he? But that's okay. I'm happy. Runner proceeded to lift up a desk, tossing it forward. Izuku leaped over it, firing a web and reeling it back. It smashed into Rhino as it broke in half. It did nothing. Okay. That did nothing at all. He fired several other things, webbing and tossing them at him. He simply walked through, chuckling. What's wrong, webhead? Having trouble? He proceeded to grin. Because I'm not. He rushed forward faster than before. Oh crap. He leaped over a Rhino. Rhino proceeded to scowl as he ran right outside from the window. Izuku started evacuating people, quickly telling them to go that way towards the exit. Rhino proceeded to smash through the window as he fell. I gotcha! Izuku leaped after him, firing two webs to catch him. But the moment that he caught him, the weight... Holy crap, why is he so heavy? Then he slammed down, creating a massive crater below in the street. I couldn't stop him at all. What the heck going on? What is that thing around him? That Rhino suit. He paused as he waited, and then someone rised up from the dust. Rhino. Police was already around, waiting. Captain Stacy proceeded to freeze you. I know. What? The name's the Rhino. Fire! As bullets proceeded to pelt him. But they did absolutely nothing. Not penetrating through the hide, they bounced off, dropping like little coins. Okay, that's something else. Ezekiel leaped and dived. He proceeded to see Rhino lift up his foot. Uh-oh. He fired down and stomped his foot. Rhino proceeded to cause a shockwave that was visible to the naked eye. The ground upheaved. Cars flipping over. Captain Stacy proceeded to get blown back. Gwen's father, no! He proceeded to swing faster, catching Captain Stacy before the police car could flip over on top of him. I gotcha! He laid on the captain. Now, Captain, I'm sure you know the dangers of being so close to turning over a police vehicle. Spider-Man, what are you? I would love to take autographs. Really do. Really, I do. But there's a certain little problem here that we should probably run. Captain Stacy proceeded to turn, looking. He proceeded to nod. Back up, everybody. Retreat. As several officers continued to shoot for cover fire, while some of them backed off. You should probably get out of your jail. Go. Captain Stacy proceeded to look at him strangely, like he recognized his voice, but he simply nodded, backing off. Azuka turned, looking. Rhino proceeded to rush forward. Uh-oh. He leaped over him yet again, but Rhino caught his leg, tossing him as he slammed it into a wall, groaning. What's wrong, Bug? Having trouble keeping up? Azuka proceeded to catch his arm. The heavy arm proceeded to try to crush him. You're really, really heavy and strong. What have you been eating? Stones? You wish. He lifted up his other arm, Azuka catching the other one. He proceeded to groan. Okay. He's stronger. Probably far stronger than me. Alright. One for all. Red veins started to flow up his flow. Rhino's eyes widening. What the? Full cowling. The red and blue lightning activated as one for all flowed through his system. 5%. He felt the pressure lift up several lifts. That's much better. He proceeded to kick Rhino, as he took his 2 steps back. Surprised. I actually felt that. Azuka flipped, using a backflip, as he stood and fired a web. The web proceeded to wrap around Rhino's wrist. Rhino proceeded to tug, inking him forward. Azuka skidded up on the ground, stomping his feet down. Cute. And then he yanked harder. Azuka flew, and Rhino proceeded to slam his fist right into his face. Boom! He proceeded to groan. Oh! Ow! Azuka shook his head. What the hell? Oh crap. He dodged Rhino's first attack. Azuka flipped, swinging away. Where are you going, Spider? Get back here! He stomped after. Okay, he's a lot stronger than he looks. Much stronger than he looks. Azuka swinged quickly. I need to think of a way. Think of a plan. How did I stop that big? He dodged several cars that was flying. He saved several for pedestrians, pulling them out the way, or firing webs to catch the cars. He proceeded to fight Rhino in a chase. He leaped over several cars, dodging them, firing webs, hoping to slow Rhino down. But each web he just simply shrugged off or ripped off. He's a lot stronger, faster. He proceeded to get grabbed, being slammed into the ground. His body bounced on the pavement, and Rhino kicked him, summoning right into a store. Izuku groaned as Rhino proceeded to rush forward. Uh-oh. He braced himself, and as Rhino slammed right into him, going through stores, or office buildings, and several others. They're building into a mall. Izuku was thrown. As he sees someone in the air, firing a web and redirecting himself, and saving as he landed on as he looked around the chandelier as he hung upon it. Okay, where the heck did he... Right on burst into the mall. So looking around. There you are, you bug. He ran. And one woman proceeded pushing her stroller. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, Izuku thought. She proceeded to scream, running faster, but she's not gonna make it. Izuku leaped, with one throw enhancing his abilities. He dived as he fired 2 web lines, pulling himself closer, catching the woman and her stroller. Taking him to the second level, Rhino proceeded to jump as he crashed into the first level. Izuku laid her down on the second level. Are you alright? She proceeded to nod. I'm fine. Alright, get out of here. Go. People were already back waiting. As Rhino was breathing heavily. He stumbled for a moment. I need hot water. He saw a fountain, proceeding to go to the mall fountain. He took it and proceeded to dip his head into the fountain, drinking from it. Wow. Just wow. What's wrong, big guy? Tired? Exhausted? Shut up. Huh. He's exhausted. Much more than I thought he would be. Did that thing not let him sweat? He looked around, looking at Rhino, really looking in. He was sweating from his face a lot. He's not sweating. He's... Maybe I can exhaust him over until he trips and falls. But how am I supposed to exhaust him fast enough? Gotta figure it out. Rhino proceeded to turn. Finish what a break. Now where were we? Right. Our little fight. So, how much do you like animals? Rhino proceeded to scowl because I heard the white rhino's extinct. So are you a rare cousin or... Oops. My bad. In the mall for a few minutes later, it proceeded to burst. The walls burst as it crumbled, as Izuku was thrown right out. He proceeded to groan, skidding upon the ground. Oh, okay. One for all proceeded to flicker badly. He winced at his body, screaming at him. He proceeded to stumble. His costume was torn in several places. His blood on certain tears. Blood and certain scrapes in certain areas of the costume. Oh, great. One of his lenses were shattered. Cracked. Not shattered, but cracked. Cracked lens, torn up suit, and wincing body. Rhino proceeded to burst through. I'm not done with you yet, bug. Huh. You're not. Izuku leaped over him, firing a web. He proceeded to cling to his back, firing 2 webs as he was trying to redirect him. Let's go on a rodeo. Rhino proceeded to growl. You want rodeo? I'll show you rodeo. He proceeded to run, running fast. Oh boy. He tried to prevent him from making too much property damage. He stopped away cars and trucks. He saw one truck coming in. The gasoline. As Rhino proceeded to run right head first into it. Boom! Izuku sent flying. He proceeded to slam. Lamb skidding upon the ground, and then just come to a stop as he groaned. Rhino proceeded to stomp forward. It looks like I got you, bug. Got you right where I want you. Izuku groaned. You gotta be kidding me. He's way too strong. He's taking no damage. None of my physical attacks work on him. He winced at the pain. His arm screaming at him. He looked at his arm. Great. It's probably broken. Rhino proceeded to grab him, picking him up and slamming him several times over. 1, 2, 3, 4. He threw him up in the air, waiting for him. Then, as Izuku fell, he proceeded to bring back his leg, kicking him in the gut. He heard his ribs crack. He felt the pain. He was thrown, smashed into several cars in an office building, and several for walls as he came to a stop into a store window as he fell and groaned. Ronald Pacino followed the destruction. What's wrong, bug? You can't make one more joke. I have several. In fact, why did I run across the road? To get a shave. A shave, huh? Let me shave in your life. Ronald came down, pointing his horn down. He rushed forward. Oh, that's my cue. He winced at the pain. That's my cue to run. He leaped into the air, one for all enhancing, as he activated one more time, leaping into the air. Ronald Pacino slammed right where he once was, growling as he turned around. He fired a web, throwing at Rhino. Rhino caught it with his hand, yanking him forward once again. He proceeded to grab him, slamming him down. Then he tossed him. He was flying. He proceeded to hit the ground head first. And then he rolled. Izuku skidded upon the ground to a sewage drain. Izuku groaned. Ugh. That was a bad plan. Not so fast, Bug. You're not escaping this time, Spidey. He ran right after him. Well, now time for a getaway trip. Izuku fired a web, throwing the sewage drain right at his rhino. He caught it and crushed it between his hands, bending it. But Izuku already jumped into the sewage drain. As Rhino proceeded to say, "Hey, no fair! You're cheating! Escape is not cheating!" As he shouted. Izuku proceeded to drop. He proceeded to wince. He got away. Oh well. He'll be back. He always does. Izuku winced. Ow. Ow, everything hurts. He took off his mask. He winced a lot, painfully. He walked the sewage, stumbling through as he simply wandered for a while, an hour or two. He checked his phone. It was cracked. Great. Cracked, chipping in some areas, maybe even broken completely. He looked at his phone. 1:30. An hour of being completely tossed around like a rag doll. Perfect. He turned off his phone. He's already on low battery anyways. He stumbled, walked, and looked for a sewage drain. Perfectly fine. He put on his mask and exiting the sewage drain, he looked around. He's probably a block away. He winced as he roused up, holding his left side of his right arm. Frick, everything hurts. He fired a web. The web hissed, and out of web fluid. Perfect. Just perfect. He fired the other one on his left hand. The pain was spiked, and it hissed also. He continued walking. He's gladly that he was completely in an alley. And you notice Dagobah. Oh, thank God. He walked to the beach. He hopped over the rail painfully and dropped. He winced at the pain. Each pain was a spike. Oh, my back. Oh, my body. My body hurts a lot. Ow. Ow. And ow. He looked around, taking off his mask. He breathed heavily. His eye was bruised. His face was bruised. With a black eye. He can feel it swelling already. He felt blood in his mouth. Ugh. He spit in the sand. Oh, great. I'm probably bleeding internally, aren't I? Broken ribs. He checked, feeling his left side. Yep. He winced. Broken ribs. Oh, back is definitely painful. He proceeded to pull out his phone looking for a number. He had to call. All Might. He called the number. As the voice said, "Yo, Midoriya. Yo, Midoriya. It's been a while. Yo, Midoriya. How are you?" "Not so good, All Might." He proceeded to wince. All Might proceeded to notice the way his voice was pained. "Yo, Midoriya, are you alright?" "Not really. Kind of dying here a little. Maybe you could head to Dagobah, pick me up." He winced. All Might proceeded, "Don't worry, I'm on my way. Hang in there." He proceeded to hang up. "Yeah, hang in there. Totally." Zuko proceeded to lay back his head, groaning. I swear this ain't gonna get any worse. The next 10 minutes would pass. All Might proceed to arrive. "Yo, Midoriya." He proceeded to see the boy. He was badly damaged, costume torn in places, several large ripped holes, skin scraped open, blood leaking. "I got you." As Zuko winced, as All Might carried him. "Hey, what happened?" Another supervillain. Another villain turned into a supervillain. You know." All Might proceeded to carry him to his car. Then he quickly made his way to UA, the closest place he could think of. The only place he can think of that can take care of him. Explain to me everything. Zuko explained, Alexei. He assumed that he was also changed by the big man, whatever they did to him. Now he's in some sort of armored-like suit. Armored-like hide. Shaped like a rhino. Yeah. Overlaying rhino hide plates all over. It looks kind of spiky. Ugh. Hanging to Midoriya. All Might proceeded to arrive in UA. He proceeded to run in. Muscle form first. He grabbed Zuko and rushed into the door. He made his way to Recovery Girl's office. The moment the symbol of peace burst through the door, Recovery Girl proceeded to scream, "Oh, Toshinori, what the hell is wrong with you? What are you..." "Oh my god. Put him on the bed now." All Might proceeded to say, "Oh, Recovery Girl, I know what I'm seeing right now. I need you to shut up and let me do my work. Got it?" "Right. Got it." The symbol of peace proceeded to say, standing nervously. Izuku proceeded to wince at every pain. "Young man, what were you doing?" Izuku proceeded to smile bloodily, his teeth bloody, trying to be a hero. She looked at All Might, hoping for wanting the truth. "I'll explain to you later." She proceeded to sigh. "Get out. I need some time with the boy." He nodded. He proceeded to wait outside, as the boy was probably going to go into surgery for it, or an operation. Nezu was already alerted the moment that All Might arrived. Aizawa walking with Nezu on the shoulders. "All Might? Principal Nezu. What's going on?" "I'm assuming that our little wall crawler has met his match." Aizawa's eyes about raised. "The kid? What about Spider-Man? What's wrong with him?" All Might proceeded to rub his face. "Young Spider-Man, he sighed, couldn't even help it anymore. Give it the facade. Young Midoriya. He's hurt badly." "Midoriya? That's his name?" "Izuku Midoriya, yes." All Might proceeded to explain everything. Izuku's powers, was in detail, how he got them, the spider bite, everything. Nezu proceeded to smile, intrigued. Interesting. Powers that come from a spider bite. A radioactive one, in fact, or genetically altered. All Might simply nodded. Yes. and he's badly hurt. And why weren't you not watching him? Aizawa said, I trusted young Midoriya to know what he can handle and what he can't. Yeah, about almost 3.5 months ago, he took on a villain that was literally sand. He almost died. He didn't tell me that part. Oh, he didn't? No. Well, during the fight, Sandman proceeded to encapsulate him in sand, crystallizing it. If it weren't for his raw strength bursting him out at the last minute, he would have died. Those such an explosive green, red, and blue lightning. Only proceeded to listen to red and blue lightning. He remember what Izuku said about One for All, how it was once when he first used it was green lightning, but then it changed to red and blue. All Might immediately knew One for All saved him. The symbol of peace proceeded to wonder. Dumbledore didn't tell him about this one. Why didn't he? The green light proceeded to appear upon as all three proceeded to become interested. Recovery Guard proceeded to sigh after about an hour or two of the operation. Come in. They proceeded to walk in, entering. As they saw Izuku, whose arm in a cast, his upper torso bandaged up dramatically. One of his legs proceeded to be propped up. Up in the cast also. On Midoriya. That he's unconscious right now. He fell unconscious about 10 minutes after I started to check in with his wounds. All Might sighed heavily. Toshinari, explain to me now. Because to why I'm checking this boy's blood, it's saying a totally different story. He proceeds to explain the whole story again. The spider bite, Izuku's powers, everything. She proceeded to rub her face, then the bridge of her nose. All right, and you're saying to me that for 1.5 years, you allowed a 14-year-old boy to go around fighting crime in a mask, in a spandex costume, running around, swinging on buildings with webs. And his biology was changed overnight, about almost 1.5 years ago, by a spider. And you didn't bring him to the UA when the moment you found out. No, he begged me not to. He didn't want to be experimented on. Experimented or not, we don't know what's happened to his body. His body is changed. It needs to be watched, studied closely. This could have effects and changes, permanent damage to him, to all we know. Only percent thought. Think about it. She was right. The spider bite did give him powers, but they don't know the other half of it. They don't know everything of it or what it could have done. I understand. It's a simple piece said. Do you? Because you kept this a secret for a very, very long time, and you said nothing. He wanted to be a hero, and I agreed. And I thought maybe this is the only way I can truly, really help young Midoriya. And you made him your successor. Aizawa proceeded with an eyebrow. Explain. All Might proceed aside, explaining One for All in detail. The quick pass down. Recovery Girl proceeded to lift her cane up and slap him, bringing her cane on the back of the pro hero's head. He proceeded to say, "Ah! What was that for?" He was in his true form, deflated. You idiot. Do you know what One for All could have done to his body? For the fact that the change was already happened before, but it could have escalated rapidly. We don't know what One for All is doing. We don't know if it's stable or not. It seems stable. Just because it looks stable both physically does not mean it's stable biologically. It's totally two different things. Toshinari, you idiot. You should have came to me first. I should have. I'm sorry. There's a Basina saying, I think the boy is fine. Genetically, in fact, he seems quite stable. If any mutation was supposed to happen, it should have happened when the change happened firstly. I think he's okay, Recovery Girl. Nezu, I know what your worries. The boy could have had other changes unknowingly, but I think the mutation is stable. He proceeded to look closely at him. He looks human enough. Azar proceeded to sigh. It's completely reckless and idiotic of you. Very idiotic. He turned towards the boy, and he is a problem child. A bigger one than I originally thought he was. Much bigger. Now we must wait for the boy to recover and wake. Yes, another thing. He's rapidly healing. Azar's eyebrows raised. He's healing? Yes. When I was operating and tending to his wounds, he was healing at a rapid rate. Accelerated. That must be his healing factor, as All Might said. Recovery Girl proceeded to raise an eyebrow, then scowl. Healing factor. Another thing you hid. All Might proceeded to wince. Yes, the Midoriya does have a healing factor. When we first used One for All. Or before then, I remember he said that one villain proceeded and slashed up his chest with a cork. Overnight, it healed with no scars. Azar's eyes rose. He healed. No scars. No scars. No faint marks, no nothing. As Rico said. Where? In the middle of his chest, right above his heart. She checked it again, looking. No scars, nothing. She looked at him again, checking over, doing a scan. His leg was already healed. She proceeded to blink, shocked. That's rapid healing. It seems like not just that, his healing factor is being boosted. It was already powerful, but now it's being boosted by One for All to extreme levels. As all his eyes proceeded to rub his eyes. This problem child's a mystery. Indeed he is. They heard a groan. As Izuku's eyes proceeded to flutter, fluttering open. Where am I? Oh, and everything hurts. Oh, everything hurts so much. He proceeded to lift up his head, wincing. Yo, Midoriya, be careful. You're still healing. All Might? Where am I? UA. UA's nurse's office. Recovery girls. Recovery girl? He proceeded to proceeded to blink. The nausea of seeing his face from him. Recovery girl? Oh my gosh. I'm really in UA? He looked around, shocked, then turned. Principal Nezu, and his eyes widened, recognizing. Eraserhead? He proceeded quickly to try to look for his mask. His eyes widened further. His mask is not. His mask is not on his face. Relax, kid. As Ozawa said, I won't tell. You sure? Yeah. I got the whole story and whole gist of everything. Might. He looked at All Might. I told him everything, including One for All. Well, Principal Nezu and Recovery Girl already knew, but as always, informed as well. Indeed. You are one interesting individual, young Midoriya. Principal Nezu, he's winced, sitting to sit up. I have a question for you, young man. Yeah. You just want to be a hero, correct? Izuku nodded. I do. And yet you choose not to go to UA. In fact, you have an application for UA, but for the general course, for general studies. As I always proceeded to raise an eyebrow. You just choose general studies? Why? Well, originally I wanted to go for the hero course, but after getting my powers, I realized I would be far behind. So I did the bit lefting to catch up, but then I lost my father. Yes, All Might told us about that. Losing your father to your own actions. It's not your fault. It was totally my fault. I let the criminal go, Izuku said. That was my fault entirely. He wouldn't stop sitting up properly. He lifted up his leg, removing it. As he allowed it to sit. Don't move too much, Recovery Girl said. You're still healing. I know. I'll probably be completely better by probably around later, early morning of the next day, probably 12 a.m. You can say that so confidently because came out worst. He proceeded to wince. Pain shooting up from his leg, but it was bearable. He felt it and tried to stand on it. He stumbled for a moment and then stood. Okay, I'm fine. Oh, crap. He looked around for his phone, picking it up, seeing several missed calls from Gwen. Oh, shit. All Might, he turned towards All Might, looking at him. Please tell me you didn't. All Might shifted nervously. I had to, Midori. She needed to know. Oh, I'm not going to hear the end of this. Ah, Miss Stacy, as I said. Right. She's supposed to come. She says she'll be here in like 30 minutes or so. Recovery Girl proceeded to smile. Yes, when we picked up the phone, she was literally blasting your phone quite much. We told her your injuries. She was quite terrified. But she said she'll be there immediately. Oh no. I think I need to find a way out of here. Before she gets totally... The door knocked loudly. Physical froze. Oh God. She's here. Our cover girl said, come in. Gwen Stacy entered. Her face was set in a grim line. She stared and ignored everyone else but the person in red and blue. Izuku Midoriya. Saying his full name, the boy proceeded to pale. Wait, hold on. We can talk about this. She proceeded to stomp her way forward towards him, grabbing his collar, being him. What were you thinking? I told you, you promised me that you wouldn't. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I said I would run away from bigger threats. She proceeded to stare at him. And then her body started to tremble. Gwen, no, don't cry. Tears started to flow from her eyes. I thought you were gonna die. No, I won't. Before you knew it, he was wrapped in a hug by her. Painfully. Oh, the ribs, Gwen. I'm sorry. She proceeded to pull back. I'm fine, okay? I'm alright. I'm alive, but in pain, but alive. All Might proceeded to nod. He's alive. She stared at him. Please, just rest. He sighed. I had enough rest for now. I should be fine. Fine for what, as I always said. I'm going back out there. Ugh. If Alexei stays out there, he's going to continue destroying stuff. And if he continues destroying stuff, then nobody's safe. Probably started to shine with tears. You're going to get yourself killed. You barely made it out alive. I know. He winced. But someone has to do it. No, let someone else. Let somebody else take care of him. Let All Might do it. All Might proceeded to nod. Midoriya, I think it's best for me to take care of this. As the man proceeded to put his hand upon his shoulder. All Might, no. If you fight him, your time limit will continue to shrink. You need to be careful of your time limit, remember? Yes, but... All Might, you have around 4 hours left. Your 5 hours has been shrinking. Even after you pass One for All, those 5 hours are now down to 3. Your time of being All Might is coming to an end. I don't know for how long until then, but we had to be careful. You can't be here for any longer than that amount of time. You said it yourself, after passing out One for All, the embers of One for All will start to fade from you. So we had to hold on to whatever remains left. Izuku stood, wincing at the pain. Ugh. Right now, I need to stand up and fight this one myself. I can't let you fight my battles for me. This is mine. Rhino was sent after me for a reason. The big man, whoever he is, wants me dead. He wants me gone and out of his way. He knows I'm a threat to his operations. He won't stop until I'm gone. He won't stop making these villains, these super hybrid villains, or these superheroes, these supervillains that don't operate on quirk laws. Their powers aren't quirk. They're more like mine. It has to be me. The symbol of peace stared at him, All Might's side. Recovery Girl scowled. Young man, you're in no shape to fight. I know, but someone's got to try. He was ready to leave, but Aizawa's capture weapon wrapped around him. No can do, kid. Your body's screaming at you to stay still. Let it heal. All right. Tell me this. When we're talking here, he's causing property damage. He's hurting people. So he's killing people out there. People are getting hurt. People are getting scared. They're terrified. And he's rampaging out there, doing what he wants, hurting people. People are dying. The longer we stay here and stop me, the more people he's hurting. You're heroes. Sacrifices have to be made. At what cost, as Gwen asked? Your own life? Your body? I can't do that. I can't just sit back and allow you to take punishment for something that you can't do. Like, just stay with me. Please, allow somebody else to take care of it. She took his hand gently. I told you I was you, Gwen. I promised you no secrets between us. And I promised that. But I also want to make a promise to you that you would trust me. Trust me to handle this. Trust me to handle my problems. Let me handle this. Please. She looked at him. The tears were still flowing. She proceeded to sigh and look away. Fine. Recovery girl proceeded to say, he's gonna go anyways, isn't he? Principal Nessie proceeded to nod with a smile. Yes, he is. Aizawa proceeded with his capture weapon. Going alone, though. Izuku looked at him strangely. Huh. You're coming with me? Yes, I have to. Izuku perceived the wince at the ribs, pain in his ribs. Right. Okay. Bet. You have a spare costume for me? I gave you? Gwen proceeded to stare at him. And if I do? Izuku stared at her. She sighed. I do. She pulled out her bag, giving him the spare red and blue costume. It was the exact same. He took it and went to the bathroom, changing. After he changed, he put on his web shooters. Just checking everything. She looked at the torn one in the bathroom, taking it, looking at it, seeing the tears in it, the holes, and looked at the mask, the cracked lens, the blood on certain parts of the suit. I can't believe you're doing this. I know. Neither can I. As all my proceeded to say, all right, let's do this. All my proceeded to say, be careful, young Midoriya. Izuku nodded. Nezu proceeded to say, young man, after this is over, I think we should all have a meeting together. Izuku looked at with the Principal Nezu. Alright. He fired a web, swinging out, Aizawa following along with his capture weapon. They set out. It was time. Izuku swinged through the city. Aizawa following along with agility. Not as fast as Izuku or flashy, but effective. Izuku ran. He leaped off of a building, diving. He swung. Aizawa could notice. He was still injured, but the way he moved was still fluid. You're pretty strong for a 14-year-old. Huh, thanks. I try to be. Alright, we follow this with my plan. I'm in charge. Got it? You listen to me. When I say to retreat, you retreat. Got it? Got it, Sensei. I thought I looked at him. I'm not your teacher. No, you're not, but you're acting like one. I thought I smirked. Good inquiry. Maybe if you do make it through class, into UA and had to join the hero course, I'll take it under my wing in my class. Really? Yeah. You can learn some things from me. Yeah, that should be pretty nice. He's swinged in as Izuku's sparks proceeded to go off. His head snapped towards direction. He saw destruction as cars slipping over certain areas. Some loud sounds. There. He redirected himself sharply. He winced at the pain, but he moved forward, Aizawa following. Izuku swung a backflip, and then he proceeded to land upon a street light. There was Rhino, bursting through a wall. He had two jewelry bags in his hand. Rhino, look at you. Wow. A lot of cash you got there, bud. Huh? What the? Spider-Man. What brings you here? Me? I'm just someone that wants to see you, bud. But you know, you could use a little umph. Umph, huh? Yeah, I have an idea for you. You got the bags. You didn't really learn last time. You're still bothering me. True. I am. And you brought a little friend, too. What can I say? I do like friends.